maybe notices that and shoots it if you're moving over the top of it. But Aiden here, very top corner, top of the map, edge of the map. He's looking for an edit down on his opponent.
He knows that this player has the double barrel. It's got a unique sound effect, which is so key to listen out for. Boltnaga also has the Rift to go in his inventory. Maybe in a panic position. He could use that to actually, he might use that here to get the high ground on the top part of the mountain.
We'll put him basically all the way up there.
They have to move in 30 seconds.
There you go, Bolt hiding underneath is the player we were just talking about. Aiden's going to keep watching for him and listening while engaging other players. This is basically taking two fights at once, and I think the idea is maybe you can pull an elim from at least one of them while somebody's rotating. Everybody's in front of him or underneath him at this point.
Yep.
So he knows he's not going to get caught off guard from the back. He's not going to get caught tunnel visioning from any of them. But the top of that hill, Courage, they have vision on literally everything.
This is Cease from earlier on. Saw it. Brandon building on up and whiffs the hunting rifle shot, but thankfully for him, Brandon gets quickly cut down, and then I think there was a second player here.
I believe that's Morgoss hiding underneath him. Earlier when he take the shot. Also, the same hunting rifle shot, just barely missing again. One of those is going to pay out, but he clips Morgoss on the rotation. Just over the build, too.
Here's Asteria, 0 elims so far. Nick Merckx just eliminated Tempo.
That puts Nick Merckx at 4 elims. That's at least 1 point. And he's one more elim to put him at 5. Asteria lasers down Aiden.
And look, Aiden got a little scared by that. Nick now at 4 elims. Has a point on the board. Nick's got a ton of family here this weekend. It's funny, keeping an eye on his dad every time Nick gets in a fight. I got eyes on him. And he's listening to Neo, actually, someone who, if you know from Nick's streams, they game a lot together. Neo's telling him every little bit that's going on, making sure he knows exactly where he stands. He got blessed by this next zone, too.
Nick, though, only 49 woods. He's got 4 builds total. It's a Cease from earlier who was just putting on an excellent show. But Nate Hill, look at this, hiding in the shadows up here and takes shots at Cease. The tunnel vision kind of caught Cease off guard there. Nate Hill took advantage of it. I think Merckx, like I said, 4 elims, 3 builds left right now.
He can stay hidden here for so long, though.
I mean, he's inside the safe zone.
Yep, he's like a ghost. People are just not even going to think of him being down here. Hiding
in the shadow, too. Players that even rotate past might not see him hiding. He's got... This is actually it's an excellent spot for him to be in. Bizzle on the rotation. This might be the most spread we've seen the field for in quite a while.
I think a lot of it's the verticality of the mountain. Look at how awkward this is, trying to build on up. I love this camera shot right here. Great stuff production.
Sean was catching Kuros on the rotation up the stairs off guard. He's hiding in like a little side chamber there. Time for Bizzle from Ghost Gaming to move up as well. A lot of these players, they're going to decide when to rotate. And it looks like more players are going earlier than we've seen in the past. Oftentimes we see a lot of players deciding to wait till the last second, but it's because, like you said, the verticality is deciding that right now you need to move, because not only do you have to build forward, you got to build up.
Unfortunately, you can't use your pickaxe to break down the entire mountain, so players have to move early. Ghost Bizzle doing just that, moving towards the zone. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it into the zone and immediately just boxes on up. Yep, there you go. He's trying to make it close enough. Needs to get right around this corner, and now he's good. Time to box. Ooh, he does take a heavy amount of damage, though, before he's able to get the wall down.
Start building those chambers out. Shots are coming out, though. Somebody's trying to challenge this little set of boxes he's building. He's still getting shot from the side.
And the reason they're even spraying him even more is his build auto-switched from brick to metal, which is a sign that he's out of brick, which makes you think if he's having to use metal now, he's probably very low on materials. TFUE still in this game as well, alongside Geomach.
Replays and Sinful caught at the bottom. This is going to be a fight to stay ahead of the storm and ahead of their opponent.
I feel like both of them are going to get a limb right here.
So Nick Merckx sitting on 4 limbs, maybe looking for his 5th right now, listening. He doesn't have any builds left, so he's chasing. He's going to spray the wall down and catches Rex inside his own box. That's 2 points for Nick Merckx. Top 20 left. He makes it to top 10. That's another point soon. He does have, and he's got a med kit.
That was a smart play from Nick. He goes to pick up the opponent's grenade launcher. He had 0 ammo in his grenade launcher, but Nick was hoping that if he picked up the other grenade launcher there, that there might have been some ammo still left in the clip. Unfortunately for him, there was none, but a sign of a smart player. As, oh my goodness, Hysteria, if he gets sneezed on right now, I think he's eliminated from this one. I think if Nick flexes his traps, Hysteria's character would get eliminated here.
Bizzle moving up, trying to get in an advanced spot up this hill. He doesn't want to get caught off guard outside the zone. You see he's already rotating towards the east side of the circle. He saw the fact that, that's the side he's going to have to go to. The next circle, it's a full movement. Everybody's got to relocate. You got to get ahead of the zone if you want to move and stay alive.
So like every time he pushes out and makes another one of those like little 1x1s, he's burning through 60 material, and he's only got 200 something left. So that's all going away quick. Struggs, someone we saw earlier on. We got an interview with him after he had a big performance earlier in the week. Here comes the zone move. Rio launch pads up to the high ground. Nick Merckx having to go bounce pad time as he's going to try to keep up with the zone. Oh, he's going all the way to the low ground with barely any builds left.
Nick's on 6 eliminations right now, by the way. One more would put him at 7. That's 3 points. He's got 2 points already from this game.
Rio in the fight. Sean trades out that elim. You see Struggs now down. Nate Hill still in this one as well. Nick Merckx with another elimination on Base Soldier. I think that puts Nick at 7 eliminations. 3-point game for Nick Merckx, as this is going to move him way up the scoreboard now. Another elimination from Nick. That's TFUE down. A statement game from Nick Merckx, and he's got medkits to use. Nick Merckx can win this game.
Heavy, super low HP. You've got a whole ton of players above him, and he's sitting pretty down at the bottom. He might have the ability to rotate along the edge of the storm. You see where the location on the minimap, it's gonna carry all the way along the base, and he catches somebody on the way down. He's trying to go for materials. Elim number 9.
He needs these materials.
Every elimination from here on out is icing on the cake. He's gonna push. He's got a little bit. He's got 7 builds left.
Player's just inside. He doesn't realize he's to his left. Nick can only build 7 walls. He's already earned himself 4 points this game.
He's got to save those for moving up the hill. He can't waste too much of them right here. Luckily, he's got a little bit of defense here. Somebody already built wood. He's got to move up, though. He can't stay down on the bottom because he's about to be outside the zone. Now's the time, Nick. You got to move.
Oh, no.
Get inside. Get inside. Here we go. Nick,
he's in.
Solid play. Excellent job staying inside, but he's got players all over him.
No! Nick Merckx slides down the mountain. No builds left. It's over.
5 players left alive right now.
In 72 hours.
Nate Hill, Mac, Povsey. Top 5 situation.
Nate Hill already in a brilliant position. Spot 72 hours. That's a free elim, which gives him another point. Remember, if he makes it to the top 3, he earns another. Nate Hill, who is already in our top 5, might be making a move up the leaderboards, folks. 4 players left. He's got no builds, so he's got to use whatever he can for cover. Look at the height difference. Mac is done. That's top 3. Another point earned for our remaining players. Povsey's got no builds left, so he's going to get dropped on down.
He's got a player right underneath him. Bolt all the way up top. Looking down Nate Hill. This 1v1 situation. Nate Hill still left alive, and Bolt's got the top down on everybody. He might even have an opportunity. He's layering up. He's going for a heal off.
He can't drop, though. He might be able to fall down to that next level, but if Nate's able to heal on up a little bit, I'm not sure exactly what Nate has. He can maybe shoot him down.
Right now is the perfect time for him to just hang out up top. He's at 95, which means he can start the med kit before the zone closes all the way. He doesn't have to push for the elimination on Nate.
There's 5 seconds left. Nate's going to have to try to spray down whatever he can. Bolt Naga can build out one more structure. He's got 0 elims this game. He's been playing for the Victory Royale. He's got a med kit he can heal with.
You see position. He's about to position himself on the line, the seam between the two.
Nate's got to keep spraying. Nate has to keep spraying. He cannot let this go to a heal off. He knows it as well. He's got to keep spraying. Nate, the game potentially slipping out of his hands. He needs to keep spraying the structure above. Nope, he's not going to be able to out-heal him. This one's done. He's not going to be able to out-heal. He does not have a med kit. This should be a heal-off in favor of Bolt Naga. It's going to come down to the wire. Nate spraying, doing whatever he can, but it's not enough.
0 eliminations, by the way. But the Victory Royale, and $25,000 richer.
God,
because
that's some good YouTube clickbait.
He plays smarter than anybody else. Waited till the very last second and got the heal off. See Nate a little disappointed in the fact that he got caught off guard. No builds left underneath. He had to just try and spray down, and even a little amount of metal that he had left was enough for Bolt to secure just the platform he was standing on and get himself a Victory
That's
Royale.
The name of the game right there, though.
Yeah.
It's a BR. Victory Royale is something everyone wants to achieve. That's 3 points, 0 elims. It does not matter. He outlasted everyone in the lobby. Congratulations to him. You know, Nate's, I think, his window of opportunity, and it was awkward because the metal was just starting to build as he was trying to heal from that last fight. But once that metal finishes, from that range too with the damage fall, I mean, it takes so much to break through that structure.
Now, that, I believe, is Nate's second place on the day so far in these grand finals, but we should still feel good about it. I believe it's 7 points total for him, which if my calculations are correct, is second place, which is insanity. And he still has 2 games left. We got Game 6 and the surprise Game 7 coming at you right after that.
I think we got some replays to look at as we get ready for the next lobby to start on up. Nick Merckx, big game from him. Got the 7 elims he needed. I believe he finished with 8.
He did indeed, and that's 3 points. Didn't make it, I believe, there was actually, he did get top 10, so 4 points total from this game.
Yep.
See, the perfect time, catches Lene pushing up the ramp. So many different angles that players can be hiding in. Tracks one all the way down to the bottom, literally sitting on Poach as he tries to box Nick Merckx out, and it was not fast enough.
And this was the big moment for Nick to get him to a 2-point game. You push forward, drum gun in hand, you spray down the wall. And look at from Nick's perspective how low he was down on the ground. It's a good job. Base holder wasn't focused on him. Nick gets a free elim there in the final moments. No builds left. He knew it was done. He knew it was over, but he's got to be proud of that performance either way. Make it into the top 10 with 8 elims. That's the game Nick needed. 1 pop-off performance. Could be the difference in a $1.5 million tournament between $5 grand and maybe 25 grand. We'll see.
That's quite a bit of money, Jack.
It is quite a bit of money. Also from Ghost, we've talked so much about how great the organization is doing this weekend. Bizzle had some great performances in this game. Obviously, Game 5, still 2 more games to go.
I love seeing these cross sections from the side. You see all the layers coming out as these players progress across, and Bizzle is one that knows exactly the right time to take an advantage shot on somebody.
So I talked about all the great performances.
Did you just cast or curse a replay?
I did.
Courage?
I somehow figured out a way to cast or curse a replay.
You're hitting people with cards. Wow.
I'm never going to be hired back. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Please hire me back. Nate Hill from FaZe Clan, their new pickup. He was the first in line for the qualifier heats back all the way on day 1, and now here playing on Sunday, or Monday, sorry.
Hiding from the shadows, the shots on Cease.
He had no mats for all this.
I think that situation, multiple opportunities here. He caught players in bad positions, but playing with no materials, like you said, he's a player that he'll use everything that he has or everything that he doesn't have.
See this moment right here?
Everything that he can.
It's
right
just
there. Yeah, I think the option at this point was just to continue spraying. Granted, it's metal. It's going to take quite a while.
He had to reload. Look, so he took 3 extra ticks just to reload. I'm pretty sure if he doesn't try to heal and just reloads his drum gun and just sprays, he's at least got a better chance than that. Because obviously he knew at the end it was all over. Didn't have the med kit to out heal. Either way, what a day we've had so far. Fun from start to finish. The final day of PAX West, my first ever PAX, and I don't know how it'll be topped, but we actually, the player who won that last game without a single limb, Bolt Naga Ops, on the floor with Zeke.
What's up, guys? Great cast as always. I am joined by Naga Ops. Come on over, my friend. So you win a game, 3 points for the Victory Royale, and you take it to a heal off against the likes of Nate Hill. You just won $25,000, dude. What are you feeling?
I was feeling really nervous and anxious, but I guess I'm pretty happy that I get some money in my pocket. But overall, I'm pretty confident and happy about that game.
So now, what was your early to mid game look like?
Early game, I dropped the Villainware, and I just sat in a box and farmed up all game, and then eventually I got Circle, and I just played the high ground all game.
Now, so obviously toward the end of the game, you were sneaky snaking your way around, being super stealthy. Is that what you like to do, or you think you're going to change it up in these next games? Because you got 3 points now, right?
I like to be more aggressive. I think that playing more passive inside these type of games is probably the wisest play, but I feel like if you want to have fun and you actually want to get inside the heat, you can play like Nate Hill and play low ground warrior and just go shocking everybody.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you in the next few games. You got that extra one as well. Back to you guys on the desk.
$25,000 richer for that Victory Royale, and he got 0 elims, but hey, it's the way of the game.
I literally see the YouTube video title already. $25,000 no elimination challenge completed.
I'm going to upload that to my channel. Run 5
it's not even going to be you playing, but you might as well put it up.
Run 5 mid-rolls on it and have a blast. Ninja will be in the title too, but let's go ahead and get on over to our standings up to this point. There it is. Morgoth still in that top spot, but Nate Hill inching on up. But the big move coming on in, which there it is, 8th spot, Nick Merckx moving on up. earning himself that's a pretty good payday up to this point if he can hold that position.
Now keep in mind, like we saw, Bolt, the winner from last game, only 5 eliminations on the day, but he's in 7th place right now based solely on the fact that he has more Victory Royales than Nick. They have the same, they all have the same point total all the way down, 3 places past that too, but he got the victory. You have to remember, a no elimination victory is, he still made it through a field of 98 incredibly good players. It's nothing to gawk at that. Obviously he knew exactly what to do and he made the right place.
And here we go to the prizing now. Remember, top 20 begin to earn that extra amount of cash. Hysteria right now the odd man out on the 21st spot, but 21st to 100 still earn 5K, so everyone's a winner here. But 225K.
That's quite a bit more.
Sounds a little bit better in that first place position.
Keep in mind too, in addition to what you see on your screen right there, Victory Royale is worth $25,000. We've had 5 of those already, and Game 6 is not too far away. Jack, you see the players getting ready. Everyone's getting their hardware squared away, getting loaded into the game, and prepping for this. We have it's go time. It's go time, Jack.
It's time for match 6. Typically, this would be the end of today, but you know what? We've added a 7th game, as we mentioned earlier. Let's get into the action. The battle bus has taken on off. Our players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, are you ready for Game 6? You'll love to hear it. The energy has been incredible as we continue on through.
Here we go. Players dropping out already. Everybody looking for their landing zone. Junk Junction, an immediate drop point. Somebody's flying way out over the wall. They're about to cut back for a junk landing potentially. You see a lot of players. People typically avoiding places like Loot Lake. Like I said, fighting the water is not something that a lot of these players want to do. It requires additional materials to build the floor layers up. They can get knocked down pretty easily because you don't often you don't root them too much. So you'll see that relatively sparse, but every competitive match so far has had an even spread. The reason being there, not everybody goes for the hot drops. People know that slow play. You see Tyler's already getting an elimination on himself with an SMG in the feed. Slow play for something like this. Oh, the C4 play. An early C4 elimination would be rough. No builds from the player that he's up against here, and only 1 C4 left. It means no elim, and Morgas pays the price. At that point, you land, you get C4 only, and you don't get a tag with it. He should have rotated away. Had no materials, nothing to fight against it.
He hit him once, and the remote explosive does a flat 70 damage. And that's exactly what he hit him for. Tried to get that second to connect, unfortunately just couldn't. Bowman with this early elim inside Greasy Grove has claimed the doghouse. Tempo and Hysteria here as well. That is the exact house that I land at. When Hysteria and I play duos, I'll land at that house and he'll land at Durburger. So looks like he's taking my spot as Tempo has claimed the Durburger for himself.
Trouble was Fulmer taking out C9 Blind, a player we had our eyes on quite a bit. Down early, and look,
the only 2 players in Tilted.
What is this, round 4, round 5? Nick's Towers.
Still says Nick's Towers production. I don't know.
Nick Merckx. After last game, man, I've got to give it to him. He put on a good show. 8 eliminations in the previous match. I think it was an attempt to say, yeah, Aiden, I can do that too. Let's go again. And they're both here. It looked like almost nobody else was in Tilted, so this might be a true 1v1 in Tilted.
Man, that is so fun. That is just awesome. Remember, we are in our 6th game. It can't be stressed enough. We will be playing 7 today after Game 4's shenanigans. As we continue to see exactly how this will play out. Jay Cuddy.
7th game. You look at it kind of like a bonus game, and with that bonus game comes still the $25,000 for Victory Royale in that. Just as much as every other match. Now here we go, the start of the engagement. Aiden sitting on a 138 right now. He does have a slurp. I was gonna say I expect him to use it. He almost getting max value out of it. The feed Flower getting an elimination on Jumpman, but Nick Merckx, both of them basically the same HP, same shield right now. You have to remember that slurp is slowly ticking, which means Aiden's gonna end up at max HP and shield here in just a second. Nick Merckx gonna be at a 50 shield deficit. If these players hit their shots, Jack, especially with the loadout that Nick has, you're going to see that pump shotgun, an immediate swap to the blue drum.
And Nick knows exactly where he is in the build, and he's going to stop and just listen. Tags for 20-something. Aiden should still have the HP advantage, and there's the trap. Can't hit the second pump shot, but gets tagged from down low. The remote explosives, though, and Aiden again! It's Aiden's towers now.
It might be time for Nick to choose a different drop location. Oh my gosh. It does make me curious.
Every game that Nick has been able to avoid Aiden, he's popped off. But unfortunately for him, Aiden this time goes right back out of it. You see Nick is like, it's just like a mental block for him. He just can't get past Aiden.
And knowing Nick Marks, I mean, we've played with him a number of times. He's going to go back there next match. He's got it. He has to establish dominance. He's one of the most competitive people I've ever met.
It's
almost the point where he says, I don't even care about winning. You know what?
It's an ego check.
I need to take Tilted back.
The M-Fam right now wishing they could spawn into the game with Nick and swarm Aiden with pickaxes, but that's not the case. Prodigy Aces just on the outskirts of Salty Springs as Tempo Sicarios is just bouncing around near the Cliff House.
Feed ecstatic. Someone we saw dropping Tilted as well, kind of avoided it going down the feed. Now Crashy, a guest caster during day 2, now establishing inside these grand finals. He made his way through, getting an elimination there of his own. Rico, somebody we saw incredibly fast builds from earlier, only sitting on 68 HP. He's got some remote explosive. He's going to try and use it. Tosses it over the top, and he's going to take the opportunity to push up, catching himself on a build. Almost fell to drop down a second time, still catching himself. He's trying to get a top-down view of his opponent here. Traps him inside. The edit, the fast edit, the shotgun. You hear the trap go out. Dodges the trap damage, making it away, getting the elimination.
There's so much going through in the thought process right there. So he's trying to edit. The second you hear the trap go down, you have about half a second to react and get to the opposite side of that build to dodge the trap. He does just that, also finishes the elim. As we swap over to Tempo, he just secured his first elim of the game. On to Triz, and Bowman is close.
2.5 minutes as the zone is closing in. We have a player or two still very far away. Looks like Snobby and Haunted have a handful still out there, and they're the furthest away. Make moves early, get ahead of the game. They're not going to have a ton of materials, but they'll still be able to make it in the safe zone without taking too much damage, especially if they have like a launch pad, rift to go, something like that. You'll have to use those. We'll see here. Landjock, one of our earlier winners. That power cord skin. You could hear him, he heard the shield being used, so he decided that was the time to push, but his opponent got the wall block in place in time.
Backing on up. Backing on up. Expect Fuzzy to use these minis to get as much HP as possible. So keep the high ground on Landjock. Brilliant pyramid block as well. And with the double barrel, you'd think at some point he's going to go for it. And I think this is exactly it, right? Just make the call to push on in, get close range. Maybe break that down, take command, and yeah, there's the build. Can't get the engagement victory as of yet.
Now the head shake there. Oh, and Landjock catches him off guard. Right as he was going for the edit, Landjock was inside and said, okay, you're going to try and open this door. I'm going to open this side. I'm going to back on you. I'm going to rotate out and get a different angle and catch you off guard, and it worked.
Looks like Aiden's got another challenger in his towers. He's going to keep on rotating, but no, here's shots behind him, and this is typical Aiden. Wants to push towards it, gets aggressive, going for the high ground. And the new building, because of all the pallets inside that new building, it lets you leave Tilted with max materials. That used to never be the case.
He's sitting on a ton there. This loadout is incredible for mid-game, too. Even mid to late game, he has, I mean, honestly, a ton of ammunition. 200 rounds is quite a bit. Here, the middle of Loot Lake. We haven't seen too many fights happen here. Players kind of avoiding it, but Lassius landed up top. He's getting sprayed down. Has to catch himself on the way down, and he does so successfully. A very well-timed jump.
Spraying with that SMG. Look at his ammo count, though. Once he reloads this, basically has a clip and a half left. Ranger just disengaging for the moment, I believe.
Time to use one of those bounce pads. He's going to try and little trick there. He's got to be coming up from the ramp. It can't be at that. Oh, there we go.
Little 45-degree angle. He got it.
Those kind of techniques, the reason people do that, Jack, the bounce, the extra lift from the bounce pad, when you land on the launch pad, it almost doubles the height that you fly off the launch pad, makes it so you can get much further inside a zone. There's a couple different ways that people build the structures. There's one with a, bouncing off the bounce pad into an arch, knocks you down into the launch pad. That one right there, even faster. You put them right next to each other and run up at an angle, the 45-degree angle into the bounce will shoot you right onto it.
This is now Aiden versus Sap, teammates from Ghost. Beautiful pyramid block from Aiden as he's now got the high ground on Sap. Tries to pop a mini, but nearly falls off that. He drops right down, resets. That's not his structure, so he'll have to place a floor. Just like that, he's set for the moment. Or maybe not. Uh-oh, he's lost the build. He lost the wall. Look at how fast he edits on controller, man. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah, actually, there's
no traps, though. He's gonna go for it. There's a quick edit.
85.
The spray! Aiden takes down Sap. And he looked to smile. He knows we're keeping an eye on him, man.
I want to point out in the middle of that, you notice he had a window was edited right smack dab in the center of the wall he was facing, and he used the pyramid inside the structure he was on to line of sight, kind of crouch behind it like it's a mini hill. That kind of awareness of the surfaces around you is incredible.
He said, I just received word from production that he looked at the camera and said, "I'm sorry, I love you." Speaking about his teammate there.
Matt trying to wall off here. Ooh, big shot through. That double barrel catches Snoop. Look at the look at his face, too. Wow.
With all the shields and the slurp that's there, he should actually get the full.
Very cool. Surprisingly, he's leaving a side open. He must know for sure nobody else is rotating in from that side. If he were anywhere else on the map, that'd be a tough one. But look at this circle. It's going to start pushing not a ton of players in. A lot of people are already positioned, which means not a ton of gatekeeping, but you do still have some fights going on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of people already inside.
As the day has gone on, we've seen more and more players taking the option to move early, because early games, we had a lot of people waiting until the last second just because of the rotation of the storm and when it started to move. It seems like preparedness is higher on people's list.
So he's fine right here, and he's got a med kit, so he can literally gatekeep the zone, but from like the opposite side. He's more than happy to just sit in this right now and play for this elim just below him. There's two players here. I actually love this decision from Aircool. Yeah, these players have no choice.
And Jock taking Bizzle out. A snipe 44 meters. You heard the shotgun blast inside, which means these two underneath Aircool did run into each other, but no elimination yet. There's still two people there. He saw his opportunity to get at least one of them. Mac goes down to sees the shots from above. Aircool trying to be the fourth player, the fifth player here. Depending on how you look at it, the Storm's still taking damage on these players too. 10 into the feed, getting in another elimination. And he's deciding to use the med kit right now.
He's investing everything. He's investing everything into getting this elim right now. Oh, that player, I think, tried to bounce. I think that player tried to launch pad, but had the traps out instead, and they just lost to the Storm. He's been here the whole time. Yeah, he'll loot whatever materials and stuff he can get, but unfortunately, no elim to show for it. Here's Prodigy. Ace is in a little engagement versus Saint, and that's why the swap weapon is so key. Swaps to the full spray assault rifle and gets the elim there. Oh. Waits. Third parties that fight with the AR shots from range.
Now, currently, as in terms of players in this match, JLMOC's the only one with 3 eliminations that does get him 1 point. It's 3 total on the day. Landjock and Vider both sitting on 2, 1 elimination away from a single point. We do have 50 players. Half the field is still alive, which means nobody's even remotely close to that top 10 just yet to try and secure those points. You're going to see players not necessarily waiting the last second to push them, because that if eliminations are an opportunity. It all depends on how many they have. Vide right now is sitting on 2. He needs 1 more. This is Aiden just moments ago. 2 eliminations of his own, looking to secure a third and try and get another point here. The edits misses one, just barely edits through. Ooh. Does not catch Nice enough with that, but Nice gets the elimination to Aiden.
I feel like Aiden has become a crowd favorite here. Nick. It's fun. Just from his performance this week, he's literally matched the fan base and the audience of 2 of the bigger content creators and pro player streamers out there. That's what it's all about. That's a live environment for you. Look at Landjock's materials: 949 brick, 980 metal.
You saw Landjack right now. He's running 2 shotguns. He's got a purple heavy and the purple double barrel. Kind of the thought you think is to dump the double barrel into somebody as fast as he can, and then swap. He doesn't have to reload and still has a shotgun in his hands. Sherman getting laser a little bit from the side. Does have the ability to heal against this. Maybe pop the minis and the slurp, pick those impulses up and get out of town. Emad and Gorilla are also going to end up engaging each other, so you'll have 3 players right here. There you go, the impulse. He's going to try and make a move away. He doesn't want to fight this necessarily just yet. 2 players now, Landjack and Jamok, both with 3 eliminations, a point apiece. Vine sitting on 2. Everybody else that's still in this, 1 or less. 6 players remaining. The circle's about to move. Dropping down into the woods down there, and Dusty Divot is going to be tight-knit fights. A lot of wood materials, though, if you're missing out. And there you go. You got a bunch of people already building up little bases inside, trying to any safe zone they can build right here is going to be important. Asteria, one of those players. No eliminations yet. He does have a double barrel. You've seen everybody here using them pretty much all day, pretty much all weekend.
Yes.
And you can't blame them. A lot of these fights come down to on top of each other. People running literally side by side, and you want to hit as hard as you can.
I know Wheats has an elimination. Check on here where he stacks up. I think only 1 so far. Margos, our top scorer, out. Nate Hill still in this game. 0 limbs yet. No shields, but he is still alive. The player just behind him in score, C9 Blind, is eliminated as well. So Nate has an opportunity to make a move on the leaderboards if he's able to stay alive in this one for a long time. 4
of the top 6 players in terms of points are still in this too. Landjack, Bolt, and Gorilla, as well as Nate, like you were saying. That means that kind of the first place spot is anybody's up for grabs. If any of these players take advantage of the situation, they can pass Morgos in points very easily just from this game alone.
Everyone is sitting still. It's like they've called for a truce at the moment. Top Boy has a brilliant amount of materials as well.
It's been a minute 20 since the last elimination. It's funny you mentioned.
With 45 players left still.
Look at the circle. Look at this circle. Now's the time. Let's figure out what direction it's going to go. Everybody's kind of got that centered southeast section of it. Not a big rotation for everybody, but so many players that you're going to run into at least 1 person while you're moving.
Well, Swooji, you saw staying alive. Turnkey Lips finally breaks the clock. Minute and 40+ seconds between the limbs right there. Phase Replays is running around. Doesn't want to get a fight with the player up on the hill. There's Jay Cuddy right next door. Replays building out his little huts. Trying to stay alive. Liquid Chap still in this game with 0 limbs.
TFUE still in here as well.
Alongside 72 Hours with 1 limb.
Almost looks like Replays for a moment there took his hands off his keyboard and mouse, just saying I don't even need to move. Joystick building up on top.
Joystick, brother of famed esports superstar Pac-Man. There's the limb right there. Wondering if he goes and picks up that double barrel.
He's got a Lenane with almost no HP left and some explodes coming in, trying to laser the wall down. That SMG is going to be tough. Joystick, you see her just hide now. Biding time, he does pick up that gold double barrel. Be almost a crime to not grab it at this point.
Right.
41 left. Barely anybody was eliminated during that storm rotation. We have 48 seconds until the next move. Feed Gorilla, one of our higher placing, one of the top 6, goes down to Dremen. Nate Hill looking to put on a good show. 2nd place right now overall. Trying to get any damage he can on anybody.
You know he's doesn't have the inventory he wants when he's still got a gray pistol.
Oh yeah.
This late in the game. I mean, look at his inventory.
Materials aren't too bad, but no shield, only bandages left and 95 HP.
He needs like a huge limb right now. And with 0 limbs, he's basically had all he has is a spawn loot. There's another elimination for Wheats, putting him at 3, which will give him a point to move on up the scoreboard. Reminder, this is not our last game. Yes, it's our 6th game, but we have added a bonus game 7. So you'll want to stay tuned. This is a Dusty Divot ending.
Wheats, you just mentioned, got his third elimination. It's a good time.
Wheats.
It's a good thing he got it in time because the caster curse, my friend, gets eliminated by Tempo and goes out with a point.
Oh, someone just riffed to go.
Tempo on his second elimination now. TFUE here. 35 remaining, relatively close to the zone, but look at his loadout. He's got the scope AR, he's got a drum gun, he's got a heavy shotgun, but nothing else. Those last two slots are empty, which means no heals. Trying to go for an edit there, kind of mistake on the first one. Gets the replacement on some of those materials. And TFUE's going to push in. This is the same structure, I believe, that the rest of these players are in right now that we're just looking at. He's going to move in. He's just trying to play defensive, trying to get inside an advanced position in the zone. And he's inside the zone now. I would expect him to almost box up on top of what he's standing right there. Very edge. He is safe here.
Wow.
He doesn't have to push. He could just wait for rotations, maybe playing for placement.
He made it so far right there without taking any damage and without any shields or healing. Every little bit of health helps.
33 left, 30 seconds until the next zone move. TFUE is very safe here. You see Nate Hill got an elimination in the feed there. That is his first of this match. Air cool underneath. The layers are starting to happen. TFUE's going to try and take some peeks. Anytime he hears shots, you see he starts to edit some holes out. He wants to take a look to see if he can spot somebody while still not playing too aggressively, not playing outside of his position. He's safe right here. He's right at the edge of the zone.
Yep.
And look at the wide angle shot of everybody stacked up, basically smack dab in the middle. But you have players all the way down the hill already at the bottom. Ilchase far on the outside, Crunch rotating in your bottom right. J-Mock flying in the heavy shotgun. Jay Cuddy, though, look, all the way up top. He's got a tower all to his own. He kind of has a top down. Sean probably taking the same launch pad that somebody else did. Here we go, Nate Hill, 2 elims now to his name. Ilchase gets a snipe on TT Reigns. Hey, look at him. Nate's hiding in the very bottom.
He's under the porta fort.
Under the porta fort.
He has found a new...
He's dancing.
Look at him. He's just chilling right now. Nothing to worry about. 30 players left. Nobody will be safe for this next zone as it will move all the way out of the current play area. TFUE's got a far, far area to run to. He still has yet to find an elim this game. His teammate faced J-Mock down low as well. Sean, how high up are you, my friend?
Still going, too. He's got a kind of a double layer tower there.
Can we get a perspective of Sean, please, just to see this high ground he currently has? Because he is building so high up. He's not even in the camera.
A ridiculous number of players left. 30 in the zone. We got the next move coming in soon. TFUE's getting shot as he rotates. 24 seconds left. Trying to wall himself in. He's starting to look pretty low on ammunition. 31 shotgun shells, 58 medium ammo to his name. Tempo gets crunched there. You see in the feed in the bottom left. 28 players, 8 seconds. Courage. It's almost go time.
It's FaZe replays, FaZe J-Mock, and FaZe TFUE all in this little box area.
Only 4 of these players currently have 3 points that are still left alive, but we're going to see a number of eliminations come out here in just 1 second. J-Mock is another elimination on base soldier doing the rotation. TFUE and Replays literally side by side as TFUE's trying to push away. Replays might push for the elimination, having the top down of engine. TFUE falls 38 HP, almost gets caught off guard by his
He's still not safe.
Replays, still not safe there.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. TFUE again gets caught in the storm. Nate Hill, another elimination. That puts him up to, I believe, 3 as well before he's eliminated.
So quickly we went from basically 26 players roughly alive to 9. J-Mock, everybody that's left right now does get a 1 point, just based on placement alone. That's 5 total for Landjock. He's at 3 elims. Yep. Turkey Lips, 3 points total and 3 elims right now in this match.
72 Hours is still alive as well.
Turkey Lips has a top down on everybody.
Yep, he's big chilling right now. Landjock tags down to just 38 health, runs in the storm for a second. It's Jay Cuddy with the elim. Turkey Lips just playing this high ground. Bolt Naga Ops is still in this too. Our winner from last game, that's his first elim.
We could see our first back-to-back Victory Royale from any player here.
And look, he's waiting for the crate. Look at him. He's waiting for the crate. What will he get? Something good? Maybe a little present? Oh, the Chug Jug fell. He couldn't grab the Chug Jug in time.
It's okay, don't worry.
Oh,
goes
what?
So many players in one box.
What? Everyone was there. And the game's over.
He went from 6 to 1 in a second.
How do I even cast that? It went from 6 to 1 instantly.
They're even looking around to try and figure out what placement they landed. The shift in player count happened so fast.
72 hours.
I can tell you, okay, we have, I have the list, and we've got it right here in front of us. 72 hours coming out first place. Sean was taken in Povsey, got second and third. Turkey Lips, then Tendons, Unicorn, and Bolt finishing up at 7th place there.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Bye, 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 bye. GG. Look at this perspective again. Falls in. Hey, guys.
Literally everyone in the same 2 squares. You see the look on Turkey Lips' face, too. The reaction to that.
Look at this.
72 hours getting shots on 10s on rotation in. Just trying to get literally anything they can.
Wow.
Sean was eliminated by fall damage right there the last second. And 72 hours taking home the Victory Royale simply by being ahead of everyone else by a step.
That now sets the tone for what will happen in our final game, our 7th game. We will know where everyone placed for the $1.5 million prize. What a week it has been, folks. What a game that just was, from 6 players down to 1, literally instantly. We mentioned Landjock almost had a chance for another Victory Royale there. Not the case in the end, but here's how he made it far to that map.
Solid shot. The build on his opponent, Fuzzy, right there. You see 1v1 against X's, another one. He's taking those. His aggression is paying off. You see he's 1 or 2 steps ahead of his opponent. He gets the shot off just barely ahead of their build rotation, trying to get up on top of him, and secures a handful of eliminations. But you have to remember, 72 hours just won $25,000 by literally surviving
a storm.
Ridiculous cacophony of players right on top of each other. Yeah,
that's a big thing. Crazy momentum shift for 72 hours there. Nate Hill, who's been a name we talked so much about this week, and well, it's for darn good reason, as this man continues to put himself in favorable positions each map.
Players all stacked up on top of each other. Diggy is basically 1 HP, gets in a fight with Sinful, and hoping, I think Diggy pushing out, trying to get anything he can. He heard the fight, and Diggy maybe in a very, it's an all or nothing situation. Nate listening in there. This last little push in. 19 players.
This was to get his last slim, I think, yeah. Does he find another? Yeah, see, so that was to get 3.
Rocket from above.
I don't know if he got the, look, he was trying to calculate. He was like, yeah. Did I get top 10 or did I not? I couldn't even tell you. We'll have to find out. But Nate Hill still pushing towards the top of that scoreboard.
We've seen incredible play from him. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Now, with a player base like this, this many competitive players all in one lobby, you have to have consistent gameplay. We're in a situation where $1.5 million on the line. Consistency is going to pay off more than just 1 or 2 exceptional games, and Nate's putting on quite a clinic when it comes to consistency. Well,
we saw highlights from a few of the players there, but we got to show our winner in the end how it all happened. 72 hours comes out on top. I know Liquid, just look at this. 7 players, 6 players, and then it just all ends instantly. Bye. Game is over, 6-1. Turkey Lips alive reactions there and the sigh of relief for 72 hours. At the end of the day, a lot of these guys have become friends now through competing in Fortnite, playing online together, and it's great to see the sportsmanship live here at the event.
It's a good opportunity to see like like you said, the interactions in person for some of these guys. These players, the first time meeting each other in person here at PAX West in Seattle, which is it's awesome to see that. And we talked to 72 hours during the qualifiers. We're going to take have a little chat with him again here. Zeke, you got him?
I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself. 72 hours, dude. All right. First off, let's just talk. For anyone that maybe missed this, 72 hours, you were the #1 seed coming in from the heats before, and now you show up in the way you did. And we only have 1 game left to play. Dude, what are your thoughts right now?
Up until that last game, I was sweating. I was nervous, but I'm glad that it went the way it did, Can't complain, and then hopefully Game 7 we can close out strong.
Now, we kind of had a moment here to watch the replays, kind of like watch things develop. Did you know what was going down there? There was a lot of things happening all at once, but did you know what was going down?
I knew I had 2 kills and I was top 10. I knew if I got my 3-point or my point for getting 3 kills, I would get into, you know, the higher standings. So I knew I was just going to jump on somebody with a double barrel, which I did. And then I jumped on another person because I just saw him in front of me and I had a double barrel loaded, and then the game ended. And I was like, all right, I'm alive. This is a dub. Excellent. This is good news. I'm proud of this one.
Now, what's your strategy going to be like going into this last game? I mean, with that amazing play there, you probably poised yourself to take, let's say, top 10. I'd even go as far as to argue that. What's the play here?
Plan is try to get a shotgun off spawn, and don't let someone who has a shotgun push me off spawn, and then do exactly what I've been doing, and that's the only plan I have right now. Just get mats and try to get top 10.
So what would it mean to you here? I mean, obviously you won this, you got the Victory Royale. That's going to be 25K heading your way. And I mean, if you walked away with the massive prize there coming in first, what would that mean to you as a player?
I'm speechless. I don't know. I just going to play game 7 and we'll go from there. I don't even want to think about it right now. I can't even fathom. So we'll just go into game 7 hoping for the best. That's all I can do.
Got it, man. Best of luck to you in the final game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're throwing to a break. We'll be back with more action. Stay tuned.
weeks of competition. $8 million on the line. The 100 best players in the world. And one final game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals of the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. Everything leads to this moment. After this next game, we will know who takes home the majority of the $1.5 million prize pool.
Keep in mind, every single Victory Royale over the course of the day, the grand finals here at PAX West, has been worth $25,000. On top of that, first place over the course of the entire event, $225,000. That's life-changing money for whoever comes away that first place spot.
And we talk about that first place spot. Let's see who's currently in it heading into the final game. Our standings look Morgoss tied in points with Nate Hill, but due to the Victory Royale, wins the tiebreak currently. Liquid 72 Hours in that 5th spot, Liquid Poach in that 6th spot. You also see Sean was taken. Solid performance here. Nick Merckx actually dropped from 8th down to 14th. He's just below Aiden, who's actually got the most limbs on this front page at 18.
Very close to 20. He's got 1 game left, maybe 2 more. We could see our first 20 elimination player, but a lot of these players putting up 8, 9 eliminations apiece, and the board is heavy with the number of elims.
You saw Chap there, a quiet game for him so far. Only, 1 elim with 3 points. This is it, folks. Our prize pool breakdown one final time. $225,000 for first and the title of Summer Skirmish champion.
Now, top 5.
At this point,
top 5 is 6 figures regardless, and just making it to the grand finals, Jack, is $5,000 minimum.
We have seen it all so far today. A bit of everything. It has been a ton of fun. With everything said, there are hundreds of thousands of people watching online. Thank you for tuning on in. It's crazy to think this is just the beginning of Fortnite competition. It is improving literally every week. So many great announcements, such a good time. PAX West, I think it's safe to say, has been a major success for Fortnite.
Now, if you're anywhere here at PAX West or in Seattle in general and you got nothing going on in the next 5 minutes, you should probably sprint your way over to the parking lot here, and you got to take this
people
in.
have lined the street outside. They're watching the
it's
huge
crazy. I see people
screen
across the street actually watching, and the reason, Jack, is because right now,
ladies and gentlemen,
the final game.
One final time. Can we make some noise? This is it. $1.5 million to be decided right here, right now. The battle bus has started. Thank the bus driver. Good luck. Have fun.
Now, like you said, this is Game 7, the last bus trajectory for the entirety of Summer Skirmish. 8 weeks straight. There's a top left to bottom right. It's a pretty even spread, a clear cut across the entire map. You get to see another even spread, players dropping in. I expect, I just got to say this, Nick Merckx versus Aiden, the final round. This might be it. We'll see.
And this could be the most important. They're both close to the scoreboard right now, but, a big thing from Nick could make all the difference. Vape Jesus is wearing the Black Knight mask. IRL
in real I don't
think that adds any extra armor.
He's got pizzazz, that's for sure. You see Lenine going down.
Does he have the headset on too? No, he's just going for it. Okay, interesting play.
Tilted tower, or sorry, lucky landing. We'll see if this pays off for him. Speaking of Aiden and Nick Merckx, we already got crowd cheering here as soon as Aiden shows up on the screen, and there you go. A lot of people. Barnell just crunch. You got Nick Merckx inside the main building. He always drops to, and early rockets for Aiden is going to be pretty important, especially if nobody else has shield yet. And speaking of the devil, there we go. Get a full shield. You can swap weapons out. He's going to get that and green AR. Clingers on the ground too as an option to fill the last slot. Flower on the outside. Some C4, switch to attack, shotgun shot. Whips a little bit left and right. A body shot, there we go. 33 as well. He's got to be low, and there it is. Both goes down. 38 HP left for Flower. He does have a little bit.
You think Crash is going
to
sprint on over, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Saf, who has always been landing at the top of Valhalla or Viking Village here, does it yet again. Drum gun on the ground. He's got Jumpman nearby. He does have a health advantage.
There's a rift there too, so no matter how long this fight plays out, Jack, they can go to the last second, and whoever's left can escape.
Tenpo just eliminated Nice. Here's a look at Kevy in a shotgun engagement. The attack not coming out on top quite yet. It's actually a battle with tempo. Who has 1 elim so far. Kevy is as weak as he could possibly be, and there's another elim for tempo.
We were just talking about up at the Lynx crashing, did push on that fight on Flower and got the elimination as well. We got Aiden fighting a little box on the outside here. Rotating around with somebody who's dropping in from above. A lot of damage, and Sakairos gets the elimination on Aiden early, which means no more final round. Rex sees Sakairos out in the open, and
this
also
is what happens with Tilted when there's this many people landing here. It's a completely different ball game, as you've got to be worried so much about these third-party engagements. But oh my goodness, since we last checked in here, Jumpman looted 2 chests and actually got full shields from it, which will now give him a huge health advantage over Sap. Sap's got to be worried about this one now. Because again, he's stuck at just around 100 HP flat.
The Tilted Rex, who just got that outside elim. He was watching the fight go down, now looking for tendons. Probably heard the trap go down inside. Not necessarily the best time to push. This is air-cooled TV. Some shots, jump shots on Boyer right there. Down in Lucky Landing gets his first elimination for the game. Back up top, Saf. We were just watching this. Jumpman, most likely still full shield, full HP. Hysteria, I believe, in the feed. Just got an elimination with the fall. Must have dropped someone off of a structure. Saf taking a shot there. Jumpman, the laser from the green drum gun, gets his first even.
And honestly, that's the big difference. He got all that extra shield, pushes on up to Sap, and the game kind of ends shortly thereafter for him. Here's Rex still in Tilted. That epic scoped assault rifle.
Static Bartonologist, I would bet Nick Merckx is still inside the big gray tower.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Really farming up this RV to get as many materials as possible now. If you're Rex, you've got to be so worried because you know all eyes are on him right now. Cheeky to even break that for just another 13 brick. That actually lets him build 2 more structures.
You see in the top right how close these 2 players are rotating against each other, just trying to figure out what angle the other is going to come from, where the best position to push to is going to be.
And this was Dakota. If you remember, Tempo was around here who had 2 elims, so he was, oh my. Look, he even said, wow. And I can tell you right now, Tempo, not a happy camper, as there is perfect accuracy coming on in.
Now this is the very southeast corner of the map. You can see kind of in your mini map there. An interesting thing about this building is there's a basement underneath. You could be on the roof, you could be inside, but a section of it drops down one more time, and there's actually a chest spawn in there. So you might have a player hiding inside, and this is a launch pad kind of sneakily hiding. He's gonna back out of this. I think the threat of the zone potentially too much. Farigo even he's at 150, which is fine. He could have taken the engagement, but
you mentioned FaZe Tempo getting eliminated. FaZe Replays just got knocked out of this one as well. Bartonologist, tendons, ecstatic, all around. Big Gray. This is Hysteria with Explodes. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay, Explodes don't connect, but
that
either way, knocks him down.
On the feet.
And here's
Wheels.
CBK Flame getting dropped on out of this one.
Now, that shot, that angle we had on Tilted Towers, I did not see Nick Merckx running around.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I'd love to hear an update on exactly where he stands.
Nick Merckx and Aiden, 2 players we've watched the story of develop over the course of this final week of Summer Skirmish. Wheels coming out of Lucky Landing with 2 eliminations. 1 more is going to get him a point and put him in a better position.
As Wheels is rotating towards Lucky Landing, he's got to go the opposite way. Here's Levake. Only 35 health, but gets the headshot onto Hysteria. And that'll end Hysteria's day. He was just on the outskirts of the top 20, so I believe he'll fall just short of earning some of that extra prize money.
Now, Courage, some of these players, do you think they're going to make, since this is the final game, they're going to make decisions based solely on that? They're going to maybe play it a little bit differently than they would have any of the previous games?
I would think so. I mean, if you're one of those people that literally is still at 0, I feel like you kind of go for it in some scenarios. Yes, 3 points would be enough to move you towards a victory royale, but as we've seen, those are, you can't rely on getting a victory. Like you could try to play for it, but the way that the end of these games are, and how all these rotations are with 40 people in these small areas, I'd almost rather play a little bit more aggressive and get get 5 elims maybe, and then a top 10, than having to worry about getting a victory royale to get 3 points.
Diggy and his opponent basically trying to mix it up, going up and down against each other. Fuzzy and you see Landjak, both of them kind of just stacked in the same box. It's like they're roommates right now, and nobody wants to rotate. Kind of had a spin around angle there, watching just how many people are very distant from them, which means, I mean, there's not necessarily a chance of a third player coming in that engagement, but neither of them want to fight anybody. I think he's going to have to wall himself in. The rocket coming in kind of exposes his opponent inside the same structure. It's time for one of them to engage the other. Everything was blown open there, and it was Nibs that shot, I believe, that rocket. You see Amon's in front of him as well, but the zone is kind of it's the player that's going to push everybody along. Still probably the most efficient eliminator of the entire weekend.
Diggy just breaking through structures. He wants this elim so darn bad. He doesn't even have mats. It's like an all-in sort of thing right here from both players, as there's also Wheels still here who's bandaging. For Diggy, technically right now, he's at one elim. If he somehow cleans up Kayun and then Wheels tries to go for the trade, and he can get the second elim there as well to put him at 3. But as I say that was his last wall. He's done for. Wheels and Kayun now just on the opposite sides of these walls from each other.
Back and tilted, still inside the safe zone from the last rotation, but it's going to be time to move out soon. Takata catches a player, a couple taps on the shield. Moving out of that big gray tower to the new building. There's a lot of planks in there, as we've seen in the past. Players can come out of here with all sorts of resources, and that's more than us. Nades coming in, though. Takata's got to rotate out of his build structure. There's a ton of loot on the ground here. There's I believe that was a gold double barrel. It is. I wonder if he's going to go back for it. It's such a commonly picked up weapon in these scrimmage games. Oh, look for a shot. Hit this thing is on the jump. I'd lose my mind.
Players impulsing to the close mountain. He's going to try to follow this build and get shredded on down. There goes 38 of his shield. He'll pop that big shield potion to go ahead and get back up towards 185. He's got to be worried about the person on this close mountain. Here's a replay. Here was the last one we got onto Ecstatic, and well, it looks like it doesn't get much easier than this. This Ecstatic was, yeah, 1 bullet. That epic legendary, or sorry, that epic assault rifle, not epic legendary, with the quick elim there. 2 elims for himself so far, 54 players remaining. He's still in tilted, but this zone so far pushed west. Only 1 player alive right now, currently has 3 eliminations.
Those Wheels. And this next circle courage is basically centered on that villain base, or Valhalla, the Viking village up on top of the mountain. So you've kind of got Greasy on the edge, you've got Snobby on the edge, and the sports complex. But there's a lot of open area with just sprinkling of trees, which means you're going to see a lot of structures pop up as the main defense method to feed their poach, securing another elimination. We've got multiple players now. I believe Takata's at 3 elims. Wheels eliminated 53rd this game, but a handful of them still sitting on 2 eliminations. Chris, FPS, Lancius, Levick, and Sofa all have 2 eliminations and are still alive, which means 1 more for any of them. Here's a point. Amon's picking Snood off.
Gosh, Bartologist was on the receiving end of these explodes. Trying to survive on through, does get a ton of damage down onto FPS. Thankfully for him, he's got minis, he's got a big shield. He can go ahead and get back up towards 120 HP. Bartologist will take the time to stop and medkit, and you see Blind trying to be the third party that engages on here. He's pushing forward. Blind can pay spoiler for both these players here. One on the opposite side of this wall. Been tagged once. There's the shots coming on in. First elim now for Blind, the second player peeking from above. Will this work out perfectly for Blind? You can't tell as of yet. To FPS at 121, that's a big tag with that heavy shotgun. Oh, out of the sky. As the crowd erupts there, that's his 3rd elim to FPS, getting on the board.
Very good shot there on Blind on the way down. We've got Landjak rocking the power cord still, trying to rotate his way inside. The Storm's going to push him 40 seconds roughly. 42 players remaining in this final game of the Summer Skirmish.
AR ammo at 9.
Basically nothing.
Mats at basically nothing as well. This is, again, an all-in type play. When this zone closes, it'll begin hitting for 2 as well, and they still have a ways to go to reach safety. He's taking so much time for this.
It's a big play here for only his 2nd elimination. He probably should have stayed ahead and just kept moving with his zone, unless he was afraid of the
He's not even making a move on it. He's got to go.
Unless his opponent has some form to heal HP, this is going to be a wash potentially.
And he just bounce padded up. And here, look, it's going to start hitting for 2. I mean, I don't think there's any way he makes this. Oh, gosh.
Chasing in on the player behind him.
He's just looking for the limit at this point. And don't get me wrong, this guy's totally weak, but this was not worth it.
Too high of a chance. Tendon is going to go down. Tendon's actually going to make it out of this scot-free. Manjack throws himself the fall damage at 10 HP. The head nod from Tendon saying, yeah, the Storm can have you, and I'm going to stay alive. This is a top-down view. Takata getting his 3rd elimination on Bandit for his point in the 7th match. Nibs dropping down. He's got a decent setup for weapons here. No Splodes left, but he does have a Chug Jug, and he's going to take the 15 seconds right now.
Look at that build battle.
Now's the time to do it. He's got, and he just barely adjusts and stops it.
He moved a little bit too far, and now Levake will shoot him down. So
honestly, that adjustment might have saved him. The angle from that rocket, he scooted just barely down the stairs. The blast radius, he moved just outside of it. Didn't get the Chug Jug off, but I'd rather that than get eliminated.
It's going to be a greasy ending with the Valhalla / Viking Village still in play on the top of that mountain. And he's going to stop again and try to Chug Jug. You see Liquid Chap just got eliminated. Rough day for Liquid Chap up to this point in regards to elims, but at 3 points, I think he still may have gotten himself near that top 20. We'll obviously check the full standings after this game is all said and done.
Ranger eliminated by the Storm as well in the feed there. 34 left, 30 seconds till the next circle. And we've got a big stack of players on the south and southeast edges of that mountain. That's a lot of players that are going to build up those little bases. In fact, we can see a top-down view of the minimap. I'm going to be honest with you, so many of these little arrows aren't even moving. They're just spinning in circles.
Yep. Everyone is more than content with just staying alive for this time. Takata already with 3, looking to add more limbs to his game. Here comes the zone. Once this one closes, the Storm will hit for 5. And that's when it really begins to start taking its victims.
There we go. The Storm's going to start to push. Very few players are still remaining outside the circle. Everyone's pretty much already established themselves. You see there on the left side of your screen. You got one player flying in from the east side, trying to get inside the safe zone, but there's not going to be a whole lot of gatekeeping. This is going to come down to the last few circles here, this final game.
Good catch from Takata, dropping on in. There's still this crate here. I'm wondering if someone tries to loot it.
I think that's what this push specifically was for. These shots, the shotgun shots and immediately catching yourself midair is incredibly fast gameplay.
Oh gosh, he's getting shot from a third party.
Storm 44. He can squeeze his way in here in just a second, depending on the position of the Storm. He doesn't really have a whole lot here. 289 metal left. That's not necessarily going to be enough to push his way in. Depends on the choice of this third player whether to continue to engage based on the damage.
And the campfire though.
And here you go. I was talking about it a second ago. These are all the little pods. Everyone's decided to to build their apartment complex here, basically.
Play for the late game. Morgoth staying in, and everyone just sitting still. TFUE still in this game as well. Sam, Joystick, 31 players left. Look at the materials for Ghost Bizzle here too. Almost 1,400 to work with. Pretty solid spot, and he's got to like his inventory as well. He's got the rare drum gun, rare assault rifle. Obviously the tac shotgun may not be the best, but he's got 10 minis.
There we go, the next circle. Honestly, pretty much nobody inside, so everybody's going to have to rotate to that southwest edge. A bit of cliff play, some water, barely any water in play here for the next circle, but everybody's got to move. And Bizzle, along with a number of other players, are going to take the opportunity very early, get ahead of the rest of the crowd. Just over 60 seconds remaining. Third-party shots going to happen like that. Bizzle's got any player that rotates early is going to get tapped at. The goal there, people are looking for their first, second, even third elimination, trying to get as many points as they can. But man, early movement, getting ahead of the game, especially as we've watched these games develop over the course of the day, it's always paid off. Poach, player we've had our eyes on quite a bit, hiding down here underneath. They have those catacombs, a number of different little compartments to hide in, making it more difficult for his opponents to track him as he moves. Bizzle rotating back in. He's going to run potentially into Poach's structure here, probably to his front left in just a second, depending on his decision to keep moving. He's going to build up right at the edge of the zone. A great choice, too. He has a chance now to look out any windows he can edit and just take pop shots if he has enough ammo at people. Mershman getting lasties in the feed with a fall 28 meters. Looks like he dropped out a structure that had been built up. And here you go. The very edge, we get a little bit of water in here, but Kutrain getting shot at by Morgoth, one of our leaders.
See, now the question is Nate Hill still alive? Because we know Morgoss and Nate Hill were kind of two of the top fighting for those spots.
First and second in the leaderboard before this.
Morgoss still in this. No points are in this game, though.
30 players remaining.
Takata gets dropped so low on HP. He's having to bandage. Sam just sitting right on the edge of that mountain. Looks like someone's flying through the air trying to drop on down. Everyone's going to have to get off that mountain now. 30 players left in our final game of the Summer Skirmish. Again, when this game is over, things will be calculated and we will know where everyone stacks up to see what chunk of the prize money they'll be taking home of the 1.5 million. Now, if you're wondering what these fast edits are, he's basically letting the metal repair so we can see through it for moments like this. Quickly edits out, makes a window, edits out again.
TFUE in the feed, eliminating Takata, one of our higher elimination players this game. FPS getting sprayed from the side. He's got the layer because there's multiple players in here. I believe the one he was just shooting was spinning like a top.
Got a second to live.
Anything he could.
That was on the base soldier. 28 players left now.
Morgoss trying to establish his third elim. This is FPS with 5.
Morgoss again
does get the third elimination on FPS. That's a point for him. Ripmate here hanging out on the very edge of the circle. In the feed, Tendons takes Strugs out. Gorilla gets Fulmer from TB.
Morgoss gets another. So 4 limbs for Morgoss. Expanding on the lead he had. It's going to take some incredible performances at the end of this to potentially dethrone him. And here's a look at everybody right now. Morgoss close, I believe, towards obviously even more points in top 10. Poach moving into this next zone.
You've got a number of players close to the cliff, too, building up towers. They have top-down views of pretty much everything. You can wait and bide their time. We had just for a second there, I believe Fade was up on the outside. You see TFUE moving in the back corner. 23 left, 35 seconds. Very fast builds, trying to establish basically any structure he can.
Oh, no. It's a heavy tag. Down to just 78 health. And again, that audible. You can tell when the shields are gone. That's ND Gorilla, who he's in a build battle with right now. Both players could be further from the zone, which could be their downfall in the next few moments as the zone begins to move. Coming down to our final couple circles. Sam dropping down. He finally just left his little huts that he's been in forever, it seems. Marksman still in this as well. Ghost Bizzle still with a decent amount of materials.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. You've got only a handful of players outside the zone, including one flying in right now. I believe there's 3 or 4 more that still need to get inside the safe zone. So everyone else of the 23 players, the rest of the field is already established inside the safe zone. So players like Poach, you see, they're going to take tap shots at anybody that catch moving because it's the count of players that's going to be is very low.
Remember, only top 10 earn an extra point. There's a look at everybody moving. Sam gets dropped on down. Tendons is one shot as well. Fade still keeping the high ground at max HP. Morgoss now at 5 elims.
Fade picking up an elimination in the feed. That high ground advantage paying off there, Morgoss. 5 elims trying to push up top.
Gotta stop and use this slurp.
This will cap him off if he gets if the entire slurp takes. He'll be back to 100-100.
Morgoss is hungry, looking for more. The next zone about to be in play. Joystick still playing the high ground. You got C9 Kriz there as well. Marksman around the middle of those builds. Look at how weak Tendons is.
Morgoss took a little bit of damage in there. Use the campfire to try and push up his HP so that the slurp, like we've talked about before, it takes up your HP first. It refills that and then switches over to shield. But his hope was to try and get every single point he could out of it.
Joystick one in this game. Top 19 right now. Everyone moving. Poach using as little materials as possible. The sign of a great player, making sure he makes the most of all these late game builds. He's basically positioned himself perfectly for this next zone as he begins the builds. Everyone having to move. He's got one just in front of him. It's Morgoss of all people. 72 hours nearby as well. Poach inching forward, gets tagged heavy. He'll place a trap too. Come on, run on in if you'd like.
18 players left, 10 seconds till this thing closes, and then we find out what direction they're going to have to go next. Morgoss, 5 eliminations still.
Look at his inventory. 860 bullets in a minigun. He can spray this forever.
Almost gets caught off guard. The edit there, bit back just a little bit. He's very low on materials now. Only 20 bullets left.
Just got dropped by the storm. More fights going
players,
on around.
14 players.
14 players remaining. It all comes down to this. You see it. Look at everybody.
Fade going down to the bottom of the screen. 13 players left.
Chris goes down to Cease. Merksman's still alive. TFUE still up as well. Poach just hiding in his little box, and Triz, the most HP left in the lobby at max 200. Morgos has so much firepower, but not a lot of materials and shields. It's making him have to second guess these decisions.
11 players left. The final match, Game 7 of the Summer Skirmish. In the rotation, everybody's got to go west.
Everyone's got to move. Here we go, folks. It's all going to develop quickly.
Right in front of
Morgos. Tries to hit the shot. Nothing as of yet. Turns the corner. Spraying him down with the drum gun. The storm at his back. He's only got one direction he can go, and that is forward. He breaks the wall, looking to reload this double barrel. We know how lethal this can be as he moves close. There's a shot on the TFUE. Cease with the trade. 8 now left as everyone's pushing forward. Cease gets dropped by Bizzle. 7 players left. They're on the edge of this tower. One falls. There goes Sofa. As he took a tumble. Poach down low, playing the low ground. Triz trying to pop this big shield. These are our final players left. All the weeks of competition leading to this point. 6 players remaining. Marksman with the most health drops on down. That's actually Poach, who I believe is spraying at him right now. Marksman could have a big game on his hands. He's had a pretty quiet day up to this point, but this could solve it all right here. One more limb would guarantee him another point as well. He doesn't have a lot of materials. He's using them sparingly. One player in the house, that's Poach. You got Cooptree all the way up top. Spray down coming in. Poach with another limb. He's now at 3, which will earn him another point. Could Poach be making a sneaky move? Oh! Goes through the doors. He closes it. Marksman sneaks on in. That's another point. He's down to just 12 HP. Only gets a quick little tag there. Top 3 now. Cooptrain, Triz, and Ghost Bizzle. This is it. Remember, Victory Royale is a $25,000 prize. Cooptrain has bandages. He's playing the high ground. Triz couldn't have less HP. I'm wondering if Cooptrain knows this. He's trying to make a bounce pad play. Nothing as of yet. Cooptrain trying to keep this high ground. He flies into the storm. He'll die to the storm. 1 versus 1. Cooptrain from the high ground dropping on down. This is it. The final zone is closing. Who will win the $25,000? Here he goes. He's got 1 layer on him. Will it be a heel off? No, he gets in his face. Oh my God! Ghost Bizzle. $25,000 richer. You thought he had it. You thought he had it, but here it is from Ghost Bizzle's perspective. How weak was he? How weak was he? Oh no, this could be heartbreaking. This could be heartbreaking. 26 left. That was 5 limbs and a Victory Royale. That'll put him with a nice 5-point game right there and $25,000. I'll tell you right now, Ghost Bizzle just made himself a hell of a lot richer.
Absolutely incredible finish there. The 7 games. I need it to be more, Courage, to be quite honest with you. It's I just can't get enough of this. Today has been a fantastic day, a crazy number of plays. Players like Bizzle right there last second, holding on to everything that he could, accuracy right when it mattered. It pays off big, $25,000.
Incredible entertainment across the last 4 days, and now it all comes down to basically we wait for the standings. We wait to see where everyone stacks on up. I could not even tell you where it all goes from here. For all I know, the way that those performances at the end, we could have had a person sneak up into first place. But what an honor it has been to be part of all this. So much fun. I mean, you look around, there's like thousands of people watching from outside, from inside here. The support for Fortnite competition stronger than ever before. We've got some replays to look at as we tally the final scoreboard. Let's go ahead and look. Takato. There it is, Takada, sorry.
Keep in mind, too, while we go through the replays here, there you go, the taps on tempo, you saw his reaction to the, oh, wow. But while we're taking a look at all these replays, we'll have the money presentation here shortly as soon as we figure the standings out, as soon as all that's calculated. So don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. Takada with the quick limb on the Bandit. And this was really how he drops on out. That was by TFUE, who had no build left. Okay, you know, of all people I dropped to, it's TFUE, arguably one of the best players in the world.
I wouldn't be upset about that,
right?
you know. There's a number of times you run into players like this, especially in previous Summer Skirmish matches. We've had the opportunity to play a handful of them, and man, they are punishingly good, and they will catch you off guard every time. These kind of plays, all 7 of the games today, you saw people taking advantage even just of just the tiniest mistakes. Single edits, you have floors that have just a corner cut out last second and a single shotgun shot there. The speed at which they play and how they play, it's overwhelmingly impressive.
Now, heading into that final game, our leader, Morgoss, who was doing a fantastic job today, had that monster game earlier to put him in that first place spot. Here's where the game really changed for him. Around the top 30, he only had 1 elim, but watch how it develops from here.
It's a second on base soldier there, the spray. That drum gun coming in handy, taking care of basically anything in front of him in terms of structure. You see through the wall, spots a player trying to heal up, drops the C4 in, the FPS going down. Those remote explosives, super powerful, especially when you have your opponent trapped in a box they built themselves. He's going to sit on top of his eliminations, just keep building a buffer. Literally, Punisher takes the same box that FPS was sitting inside, and Morgoth says, okay, no, somebody was just in there, and I'm going to show you what happened to them, too.
Yes, don't worry. That's a quick little limb and a bunch of loot there. Helped him secure a high placing in that final game 7. We've also got some of the bigger names out there, too. Liquid's Poach, who I know a lot of people are looking at potential favorite to take all the competition this week. The man knows when he gets an advantage, it's time to go for it, and that snap saved his game early on against Rex. He's in those final zones. The edit onto Brandon.
2 very fast edits.
This final sequence, it was so close. You see, he gets inside, goes to shut the door.
Catches him just outside. Look at that, right around the corner. The marksman that just barely moved inside gets the jump shotgun shot. So he's got a smile on his face afterwards, right?
Oh, for sure. Unfortunate ending for him, but still a great showing from him this week. He's got to be proud of himself. And I think we've got ourselves a nice little montage to show. This is
the theme of almost the entire day in terms of early game combat.
Forget titling it the Summer Skirmish. This was the Aiden versus Nick Merckx skirmish, as they just went out at every single game.
Name me a better rivalry, courage you can. These guys going back and forth, trading shots. Aiden even commented that he felt like he was playing against a PC player, like a mouse and keyboard at the very beginning. It's such accuracy from these 2 controller players. He loved to see it. And inside this staircase, every single floor just turned into. Like,
that was one that I thought Nick was going to have, but it looked like he fumbled the swap, and then Aiden gives him the clap. God, I love it so much. That was just awesome. Here it is again too from later on. Aiden, who was at near max HP. Nick had no shields, but you see that runs right into the double barrel. I mean, if Aiden has any less health, if Aiden is 150, Nick gets that elim.
Exactly. Such close fights between the 2 of them. Aiden actually came out of that with, I believe, 2 quarter rifts because Nick had one, rift to go. Nick had one as well and dropped it right there. The C4 bait as Nick was trying to push back out.
I would actually be really interested to see if they could have like a damage done just to each other. To see who did more damage today.
More damage.
Like, even though Aiden came out on top basically every single time, I think, Nick did so much damage to Aiden in some of those fights. I think he tweeted out like I did 500 damage to him at one point. I still couldn't get it done. So it was nutty to see that battle, as they are both fearless inside Tilted Towers, 2 of the better players at navigating that whole area. As we keep going on, though, earlier today we had that crazy finish from Liquid 72 Hours, where it went from 6 players to 1 in like a literal second. You see how he's dancing around, and the next thing you know, the zone closes, and boom. That was Turkey Lip's live reaction as he tried to get out of the zone. 72 Hours breeze a sigh of relief.
Things changed so quickly there that even we were confused. The players, you lose track of who gets what placement. We had to have the leaderboard in front of us to even know who came top 6 that match.
Yeah, and that's just how crazy some of the endings of these BRs could be. Obviously, adding that extra game 7 just made the day even nuttier. Earlier on, again, we had that crazy triple rift finish that I think Nate Hill was involved in. And here was again, Landjock gets the low ground, pops the rip to go. And they all fly to the high ground. And here it is again, just floating on down, floating on down.
in this match too. This was Landjack's first elimination down here at the bottom, and it was one that he was kind of even forced into. He was trying to avoid engagements as often as he can, dropping that, trying to go for the rift again. But Gorilla said it's time to fight, and Landjack responded.
And that fight helps Landjack go on to actually win that game, which helped him move way up there on the leaderboards. Again, we'll see where he stacks up at the end. We are continuing to calculate the standings for you all at home. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. We'll reveal where everyone stacks up and who takes home the majority of that $1.5 million. You win $225,000. What do you spend some of your money on?
Probably a lot of popsicles from here. They've been fantastic.
Dude, seriously, the line popsicles, whoever made them.
The weight of what you can win here, it cannot be stressed enough for some of these players. There are people here that you pay their entire way out. People if they're content creators, streamers as well, they're taking time off of their stream. They're putting progress at risk, taking time away from work if playing Fortnite isn't their main job. And that's a lot to put on the line. And so but the payoff. $225,000. Top 5 come away with 6 figures, and a Victory Royale is $25,000. The weight of that cannot be stated enough. And every second we're getting closer to finding out who's come away with what.
It's events like this that make new opportunities come up for people. You never know. Morgoss could be on an organization here soon based off of how he did today. I think we have another replay to look at. This was the Victory Royale from Tendons with the trap.
You got to realize too, like playing as competitive players of this nature, to go for something like this is gutsy, and it paid off big. Honestly, it caught him literally as he was pushing in. Sean was going for it. The tack shotgun spray, trying to hit every shot that he could, and it just wasn't fast enough. He ended up kind of boxing and literally trapped.
Literally trapped, indeed.
Trapped.
And that was, I believe, to get Tendons his 5th elim as well. So we got like the 5 elims plus, or sorry, the 3rd elims plus the extra points from the Victory Royale. So monster performance there from Tendons. That moved him into the top 5 at that point. But then obviously the game continued to develop. Is there anyone for you that really surprised you with their performance today? Other than maybe Morgoss, but it could be good or bad, but as we continue to look at replays.
We touched base on a couple players. C9 Blind was one that I had my eyes on quite a bit. We have a couple replays from him here, and he put on such a good show. I love seeing the tracking, that engagement against Powder. You just watch him keep track of every single player, and he did it a number of times over the course of this match. This was intelligent top-down play, multiple rocket launcher eliminations. Right here, feeding another one in through a window, catches him off guard. Jay Cuddy going down to that explosion, and he just, being able to tell exactly the intent of every single move. There was no flailing, minus the pressure right here at the end. I think right after this clip too, he held his hands up and you could see him shaking like crazy. But he played so aggressive but intelligent. That's a player to keep your eyes on forever.
For sure. And a great performance from him. Again, to the organizations that sent players out here, I think a lot of them could be pretty proud of how their players performed. You mentioned FaZe. Everyone had qualified. All 5 that they sent qualified. Ghost with so many top performances this weekend. You mentioned Trouble Boys had 4 of them as well. Again, shout out to everyone for the love on social media, using the hashtag Summer Skirmish. And your thoughts, hey, you want more events like this? Let everyone know. Let Epic know. Let the sponsors know. Obviously, thank you again, Logitech, Astro Gaming, and Respawn Products for supplying the peripherals and the chairs. Then for the event, made it all possible. And again, I'm just happy part of this. This was a dream come true. So many people watching today. I just want to do it more. If
we stay in the chair, you think they'll just keep playing?
I feel like we can't leave. I mean, I could just tie myself down here. Good luck lifting me. But we also took a look at High Stakes, the new limited time mode coming to Fortnite. Well, the Getaway limited time mode, but again, High Stakes coming soon. So awesome. You see the limited time mode, the wildcard outfit, the High Stakes challenges. That's the llama jewel that you have to pick up and carry. These are the challenges. Play 10 matches of the Getaway. You get 5,000 XP. Moving forward, deal 500 damage to jewel-carrying opponents. You earn the spray with the different suits. And then this is my favorite, though. The final one, the contrail that you can wind up earning for yourself. Pick up a jewel, 5 different matches of the Getaway, and you just got money. Llama money flying all around.
Man, that crowbar looks incredible, too. I can't wait for this thing to come out. Playing some Getaway as soon as we get home, I guarantee you're going to get those 10 matches done in, what, 15 minutes?
I don't know if that's possible, but...
Jack, all you have to do is get eliminated first. It's possible. Trust me.
Trust me. Yeah, I've done it before.
We'll find a way.
No, that's typically where we wind up stacking ourselves up. Again, calculating the standings for everybody at home. Want to make sure there's no no issues, as you can imagine. There's a lot of money on the line, a lot of people waiting. Yeah. And I think we'll be doing some reveals to the players as well here soon. Oh, here's, again, if you want to see high stakes once more, this is the gameplay. Again, as you fly on in. Safe Cracker is the new glider. So it looks like people can just kind of land right on where the crates will come on in, where the safes will fall.
I love the fact that they have some UI elements on here, too, to keep track of everything that's relevant on the board. You can see it on the compass. You can see on the right side of your screen what's available and what isn't. Even that little sound, you hear the sound? Spinning the dial, trying to open the safe right there. Satisfying.
And there's a go-ahead again, them opening up the jewel. Get the jewel, you take to the getaway van. As they go ahead and pick this up. Following this, we will be heading down to the floor to begin to live reveal to our players where they stack up. We're going to be doing it in waves, essentially. So they'll be seeing live with us exactly what their purse is and what they're taking home. Oh, this for me. Oh my goodness.
Curious question for you, Courage. Based on the grappler on screen right now, how do you think it would have modified kind of the way the games were played today?
For me,
adding another movement element.
Right. For me, I'm wondering if it's something that you can use to like save yourself when falling. Like, oh, you get knocked down from something, you go ahead and grapple to the floor. Like, can you grapple the floor and have it stop you from taking fall damage?
We get to play with this thing this week,
right?
Too. I can't wait.
There's a celebration as they float on out. Getaway complete the Victory Royale. I mean, I believe the time is here. I believe it is now time to go to the floor and begin to see the live reveal of where these players finished, how much they won, some of the live reactions from these guys. Again, life-changing amount of money, $1.5 million on the line. Here's everyone down there waiting. You see standing, hoping to see where they stack up.
The nerves right now have to be at an all-time high, especially some of these players that know that they were very close to either moving up or down on the leaderboards compared to other players.
Yep. And I believe it'll pop up on their screen, so they'll be able to see exactly where they are. Again, remember, 21st to 100th, they all walk home with $5,000. Once they get to top 20, you begin to see, I think, that's still
Vape Jesus.
Vape Jesus with the Black Knight helmet on. Which is an interesting hairdo. I think it's, look at Nick Merckx there talking with everybody. Aiden on your screen. So there you go, $5,000. Hey, congratulations. That's still darn good for a weekend of Fortnite. As a way to see more live reactions. I think the difference in prize money, what, from his 10th is like 11,700, or sorry, 20th is like 11,700 something.
And as soon as you kick into the top 5, 6 figures, 100,000
and look, getting a picture for himself.
Oh yeah.
You love to see it. People still waiting to see. If it hasn't been revealed yet, at this point they know, hey, I think I've won a little bit more than just that, right? Because they're kept in the dark down there throughout the majority of this.
And we'll have an official list for everybody, too, in case you, I mean, obviously you're not going to catch necessarily everything on people's screens as they rotate around in the room. People are waiting to find out. They want to make sure every single calculation is done appropriately. They don't want to. The last thing you want to see, Courage, is an incorrect number for something like this.
Yes, right. You won two. No, you didn't. You won 5,000. Sorry, you did not win an extra 220 grand. But no, we'll wait and see how it all plays on out. Some smiles around there now. I think people are beginning to realize more and more they've got more money won. I think Nick maybe gets a laughing in. There you go, $11,250 for those top 20 spots. We'll see some live reactions here. Pretty darn good as people clap it on up. I believe that's what Nick will wind up taking on home. Fantastic performance from him coming on in, qualifying last night, playing today, placing top 20. If you're Nick Merckx, you got to be pretty darn proud. And there you go, the quick little flex to the camera. Proud of himself on that one.
Now keep in mind they're going to show the final list eventually, but obviously they don't want to get out ahead of the players that are down there waiting to hear firsthand on their own. You don't want to give it away before even the players themselves know, you know. Right. You got to wait till the last second there. But
so I believe that was 16th through 20th just revealed. Moving forward, should have possibly 11th through 15th, I'm assuming. Good sportsmanship high five from Nick to Aiden there.
What a story over the course of the day, right? Those two.
And look, they're getting pictures, everybody's sharing it. It's a big moment. These guys have been putting a ton of time in this game. Ghost Bizzle waiting right there, wanting to see where he stacks up. And now you're getting to a point, Lupo, where you look at this going, wait, oh, okay, I still haven't seen myself.
My name has not shown up yet.
I'm getting up there with money.
I feel like I'd be the guy down there, Jack, just spinning in my chair.
Oh, well, I would have been hungry after all these games, so I probably would have had like a ham and cheese sandwich, maybe a bag of barbecue chips.
I'll take some Durr Burger over here.
Oh, no, for sure. I would have absolutely been eating already in the player area. Worth it, though, as everyone's still waiting. I think a lot of people not wanting the weekend to end because they've all had such a good time.
I don't blame them. It's been a fantastic 4 days,
right?
Watching some of the best gameplay we've ever seen in Fortnite. And this is, like we've said a million times, this is just the beginning. There's going to be so much more on the way from Epic.
So much.
The competitive scene is only getting started, and seeing even non-competitive players, or players that aren't necessarily tied to an organization like a team or anything like that, seeing those names rise above is fantastic.
Oh, 100%. It's a lot of new names have been built. I can tell you right now, more people know about Aiden now than I think before this weekend. It's safe to say 22,500, the next leap in prize money. As we'll wait to see maybe a couple of the reactions of who won some of that. Uh-oh, Ghost Bizzle still he hasn't got an update quite yet. So he's waiting to see what his screen shows.
I can only imagine if you're at home too, I'm sure you're getting stir crazy waiting for these just as much as the players are. $180,000.
Wow. I guess we leaped on up there as we revealed the top 10.
Quickly.
And look at the reactions. I believe, is that our winner right there?
You might be looking at.
Is that our winner? I believe that is our winner on our screen.
$225,000.
A life-changing amount of money.
It's going to take him a bit to process exactly what he's seeing on his screen.
That is what we call shock, people.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the victory earlier. Remember the Victory Royale, another 25 grand. he's
running away.
Yes, he's looking for security. As he needs, with that much money, he needs some protection. As there, look, you see the claps form now. Congratulations to all our competitors on an incredible performance. My goodness, we'll get a full standings breakdown for you all, but look, he doesn't even know what to do. He doesn't even know what to do, and I don't blame him. You come into a weekend thinking, hey, maybe I could go there and qualify. Sure, I'll travel on over. Oh, I made it through the heats. I got to play in the I made it into the finals.
No, I got to touch base on this.
Oh, I just won $250,000.
You got to remember, this is the same guy that in the middle of his interview, like a quick shout out to FaZe. So Banks is going to have his eyes on that man for sure.
I'm telling you right now. People are making phone calls. There's enough of the FaZe guys here to probably pick him up and take him without whether he wants it or not. We'll just bring him back to the houses there in Los Angeles that they have. But congratulations to all our competitors. We still have a massive crowd here. And while we wait for the final standings, can we get a round of applause, please, for all our competitors this week? Absolutely. Great competition through and through. You see the aftermath of the beanbags. What a setup we've had here. Props to everyone from Epic who set up this venue. Brilliantly done. As now we just wait to get the final list and then sign off for the week. What an honor it's been.
What do we do after this?
I don't know. I think we just go and like eat something. But I keep talking about food. But Zeke, you got something you're doing. What's Zeke gonna do this time? Oh, he's got our winner.
Guys.
Let's get it.
Margassi. You not only came away early with the Victory Royale for 25K, but you walk away the #1. Now, I mean, we just saw you run around. I mean, you've got to have a ton of thoughts in your head. Can you maybe just like try to put anything into words to describe what you're feeling right now?
Besides pure awe, I mean, like I came into this weekend thinking that I was going to play all 3 qualifiers and not even make it to finals, but from that to go into I was in line and I had no PAX badge and I had to go get one, and then I came back and it's just the whole thing. But I want to say thank you to everybody that supported me, especially my parents. I did it, you know?
I mean, you talked about it early in the interview. You sacrificed so much time and put all this time into your play, and you show up with a stellar performance. I mean, so not only earlier did you say, hey, Mom and Dad, look, I won a Victory Royale, I won 25K. Now you get to say, hey, Mom and Dad, I won everything. I've won 250K. What do you think? How are they feeling?
They're probably screaming in the living room right now with my brothers just absolutely going wild. I can only imagine.
Now, what does this money mean to you as a player, dude? I mean, you literally show up and you're like, I'm just going to play PAX. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll get 5K. You win and you're just like, life?
I don't think that I've processed how much $250,000 is yet. I don't even know. Probably just...
Dude, if I was in your spot, I'd be speechless too. Is there anything you'd love to say to everyone watching, everyone cheering you on?
Anyone who's pursuing a goal or a dream, just know that keep your grind up no matter how hard it gets, no matter how tough the times are, it'll be worth it if you keep it up.
Absolutely. Well, not only are you the guy that wins the top, we also have some people here that would like to take a picture with you. Come on out, guys. Come on out. That's right. Come on in. Come on in. Gather around. All right. So not only did everyone, all the amazing skins want to celebrate with you, we'd also, what's your favorite pickaxe, man? Why don't you go ahead and, what do you like to use? You got the Rex, you got this, you got that. What's your favorite pickaxe? That one? That's the one? Yep. You got it, dude. Well, let's gather around, everybody. We're going to take a picture with our number 1. So let's just pile in here, dude. Is everyone in here? Yeah. Congrats again, dude. Courage, Lupo. We're going to throw it back over to you. You guys can go ahead and wrap up. And don't forget, Margosi's taking us to dinner, so go ahead and wrap it up. We got to go get some food.
Yeah, no, certainly. And trust me, I like to eat. So congratulations again. A nice little ceremony there. I'd be happy to just have the pickaxe, but we do have the final standings for everybody at home. Let's see where everyone stacked on up. We know Margos, the top spot, 20 elims, 11 points, far and away our top competitor today.
The only player, too, to come away with 20 or more eliminations, well ahead of the rest of the board there. Even Aiden pulling 18, Poge with 17, and names that you will recognize from all the previous weeks of Summer Skirmish. Everybody that's involved in this, they've all got to feel good about the performance, but man, those top 20s.
There's Nick Merckx at that 17 spot. Remember, top 20 earned that extra bit of prize money. That was Go Sap, who wind up squeaking on through. Chap finishes at 28, TFUE in 27th, Tempo in 29th, Hysteria at 30th. And there's a look at our top 48. Congratulations to everybody this week. At the end of the day, they all leave with some prize money, so you got to be pretty darn happy with that. Incredible performances, incredible moments, but there it is, our top 10. Margos, 225,000, 180K for Ghost Bizzle, 135,000 for Liquid Poach, 120K for Nate Hill, Tendons, $105,000, and I can tell you that Trap Victory Royale is a big reason why.
On top of everything else that was on your screen right there, keep in mind all 7 winners, all 7 Victory Royales, another $25,000 on top of what they came away with in terms of ranking. And what an incredible weekend, Courage. 7 games today, 3 qualifiers the previous 3 days, all the heats, all the players. We had players coming back in multiple times to play through the heats to get in the qualifiers to take another shot at it. Yep. And a number of them making it all the way through to today. But Courage, the Summer Skirmish is only the beginning. There are
you see the emotions there, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. The insane plays from a lot of these guys, and I love seeing the fact that they're, in the end, they're all still friends, you know?
Absolutely, man. This has been a life-changing year for all these players. What was Fortnite to them last year at this time, and what is it now? It is absolutely nuts. And I'm more than happy to say this is just the beginning for Fortnite competition. Ben, final thoughts. A fantastic week we've had.
What a crazy weekend, and I cannot wait to see what is next.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I've had a blast. It's been an honor to be up here on the casting desk. Thank you to all our players for coming out and participating. Thank you to everyone who just waited in line and supported Fortnite anywhere here at PAX West. This has been an incredible event. I know I'd like to say for Ben and I, shout out to the production team, everyone behind the scenes. It would not be possible without you all here. And to everybody watching online, I know we broke some viewer numbers this week. I can't wait to see where it all stacks up. Thank you for supporting the Summer Skirmish and Fortnite competition. That is it. 8 weeks done, $8 million in prize money distributed to everybody who had incredible performances. For myself, for Dr. Lupo, for everybody here, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys again soon.
They start off with 3 heats each morning, each heat being 2 matches apiece. And then in the evening, if you watch the streams, if you were here in person, the qualifiers, 4 matches. And the top 33 from each of those qualifiers made it into today, Kurt, the grand finals, which is 6 matches. Now, how are they going to win? It's based on eliminations and placement. 3 to 4 elims is 1 point, 5 to 6 elims is 2. Here's 100,000.
And look, getting a picture for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Tylers, who had some interesting interview moments. We caught up with him once again leading into the final day.
So when I would see people, I would be very scared. I would get nervous. I wouldn't want to fight them. I would avoid it at all costs. But today I went in there. I said I'm just going to give it my best, and whatever happens is what happens. This is my first LAN tournament for any game ever. The environment is amazing. Epic Games does an amazing job with everything from the viewing area outside to down here. I never had a problem with any of my setup or anything. Like it was amazing. Like I was genuinely and happily surprised. I did not think that I would be standing here, to be honest. My expectation was to place today. I gave that my expectation was to get into the nightly qualifiers and to do my best. Whatever happens from there, I gave it my all. The weak spots that players are having right now is that they are playing much too passive. If you watch even Ghost Aiden yesterday, he was rushing everybody. He didn't care. People, when they see that you're confident, they get less confident. That's like the main thing that I exploited today, and I plan on doing tomorrow.
Confidence is key. The big takeaway there that I learned from Tyler's, he had it yesterday. It's a big reason why he finished in that top spot.
He even mentioned doing something that a lot of these competitive players have taken very much to heart, and that's analyzing the gameplay of their opponents. He mentioned that Aiden, another player that we saw go absolutely crazy a number of games, he was just playing more aggressive, and Tyler's has analyzed that. He's seen it and kind of adapted it into his own play style. You can tell just from his own gameplay, it's paid off exponentially.
Absolutely, yeah, and it shows right there. We've talked so much about how aggression pays off. He mentioned Aiden too. Different play styles because of the rule set we have this weekend. Playing passively and going for victories, victory royales can be your key to success. Playing high energy, going for those early elims could be the key to victory. But either way, we have a ridiculous day ahead. It cannot be stressed enough. Get involved in the conversation on social media. Use the hashtag Summer Skirmish. Give us your predictions. We set it back on day 1. We're here on the final day. This is your last shot to show everybody that you called who was going to win today. And again, these events would not be possible without our incredible partners. We'd like to extend our thanks to Logitech, Astro Gaming, and Respawn Products for supplying the peripherals and gaming chairs here at PAX. Major thanks to you guys because, again, these events, so incredible. If you've been here to experience in person, you just see this is unmatched in esports right now. What a blast.
It's absolutely insane. And if you're here in Seattle, if you're at PAX West, do yourself a favor.
Yes. Come
down to Lot 73. That's where everything's happening. We got 6 games today to play out. The story today is going to be incredible. And I thought, honestly, Courage, I thought after day 1, it was so exciting. I thought to myself, there's no way that can get better than this. And then day 2 happened, and we had even crazier plays. And then day 3 happened. We saw Chap versus TFUE multiple times in a single game. We saw players come back from just barely missing out on points in a previous match to absolutely annihilating the follow-up, and people improving their gameplay even on the spot. I'd like to point out players like Tempo, Hysteria, they played in previous days, heats and qualifiers, and we've watched them kind of even evolve as players within just this weekend, realizing the mistakes that they're making. Those are signs of extremely competitive players, but it's not just the competitive side that's represented here. There are one-offs. There are people that we haven't seen on the Summer Skirmish side or competitive plays, scrims maybe you've watched online. There are people that are showing up out of the woodwork, and those stories are ones that are incredibly important as well. I could not be happier if someone that was not tied to any team, anything like that, no disrespect intended to anybody, but imagine one of those guys came away with $100,000+ at the end of the day.
It would be quite the life-changing experience. Either way, There's been so many announcements, so many things going on this weekend. If you've been watching, you know, each day we've been teasing a little bit of the upcoming high-stakes limited time mode, and obviously the getaway and everything coming along with that. Today we have more to show you guys as well. Again, Fortnite presents high stakes. Yesterday we took a first look at the getaway limited time mode and the new item, the grappler. Today, we've got the free high-stakes challenges and rewards you can unlock for completing them. High-stakes launches this week in Fortnite. See you there. And again, here's a look at them. Deal 500 damage to jewel-carrying opponents. Again, something completely unique. That's the spray you earn, and then pick up a jewel in 5 different matches of the getaway to earn the contrail. A look at it there. We saw it in the gameplay yesterday. That looked fire. You complete all the challenges. The brand new pickaxe, the crowbar right there. I'm doing that right away. When that goes live, I'm doing that right away.
So you have to, don't forget to start the stream, Courage. I know you're excited. The LTM will be there, okay? You just got to wait the 2 minutes, get ready, you know, get it into your,
do my little dance
game. Exactly.
No, we'll definitely be live for that. Don't worry. Guys, without further ado, I'd like to begin to get ready for our first game with our look at our finalists, 99 of the best Fortnite players in the world competing here today. What are some big names on this first page, Luke?
I don't even know where to begin with the list of players that are playing today. You have names like Nate Hill and the rest of FaZe Clan. In fact, 5 out of 5 players from FaZe qualified for these grand finals. 72 Hours from Liquid, who we saw put on a show. You don't need materials. You don't even need HP. All you need is a drum gun and a dream, and you can push around outside and rotate on your opponent. The thought processes that go through these players' minds is incredible. You got C9, Alliance, World's Best Gaming, Trouble Boys, and teams, countless teams. Yes. Envy. It's incredible.
And then on page 2 here, you see Sentinel's Animal. He was one of the 2 players who have had 10+ elim games. Ghost Aiden was right there with him as well. Saf, who's done well in the summer skirmishes prior to this, continuing to put his name up there. Ghost Bizzle, a big name with that Ghost Gaming organization who've seen so much success this weekend. Heading out of the other side of the list, number 59 spot, Liquid Poach. Arguably, a competitive fan favorite to potentially win the event this weekend. We'll see how he performs today. And then this was from last night, and I'm just going to quickly run through. FaZe Tempo, TFUE, Hysteria, Chap, J-Omok. You look, C9 Blind is on this list. Flower from Rogue. It does not. And what a stacked lineup we have heading into today, competing for the 1.5 million.
On top of that, you have players that are playing on a controller. You have players that are playing on keyboard and mouse.
Yes.
Nick Merckx is going to put on a show in Tilted Towers. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. And the best part is he's not alone. Aiden was consistently dropping Tilted in his games, which means these two might end up having a little face-off at the beginning of almost every single game if they both trend to where they're used to, where they're comfortable going.
And I know a lot of people were talking to Nick about Aiden, being like, hey, look, fellow controller player, showing up big time, putting up some big numbers. Nick was here at it, and he wants to go ahead and provide his own stuff. Speaking with Nick actually last night, he mentioned we didn't kind of see the one game he had 6 elims. He was trailing someone in the storm. Hits him 3 times to drop him to 1 HP, and the storm eliminated them for a 7th elim. So that's how he missed out on that free final 3rd point. Either way, Nick did well yesterday. So much competition. Let us know who you think's going to take it home. I got to ask you, now that we know our 99 players, who's the favorite?
I mean, I'm part of Rogue. I got to pull for Double Flower, but at the same time, I mean, you have the list of players is incredible. I'd love to see a number of these guys run into each other. Chap, TFUE, 72 Hours. Imagine all of them in a ball together, stuck in the same 1-by-1. I wouldn't even know where to begin, to be honest with you.
That's the incredible thing about this live crowd. Yesterday, when Chap and TFUE began to kind of battle it out, we would just set the tone. We would swap the perspective, and everyone would take those couple seconds to realize who's about to actually fight, and you'd hear everyone here begin to cheer like, oh my gosh, here we go. 2 Titans in competitive Fortnite about to go at it. Again, if you have never watched Fortnite in this style gameplay before, it is very different from your normal, let's play some solos or duos at home. These lobbies will be stacked with players from top to bottom who are at the top 1% in skill, and it changes how it's played too. You're going to see as we get towards those later zones, instead of there being like 10, 15 players left, Well, there's going to be like 40, Lupo.
Very different. And like you said, these competitive lobbies, if you're looking to improve your own gameplay, these are the kind of matches to watch. You're going to see people changing their trajectory depending on who's going to be around them. Rotations for these are incredibly important, and players know the trends, where other players tend to go, where to gather the best, the best material locations, still come away with a number of chests. Because dropping directly into POIs is not, it's not. It's not the most common way to play these. People play safe, especially because top 10 gets you a single point, and 1 and 2 eliminations, while those help with tiebreakers, which don't get me wrong, those are incredibly important. The points matter.
Oh yeah,
points matter big time.
And the crazy thing too is a lot of these guys have experience playing against each other in some of these solo scrim lobbies. They know Liquid Chap likes to land whaling. TFUE likes to land down in the desert area in kind of the outskirts of Paradise. They're going to keep that in mind when they're going for their drops. You saw Tempo the whole day yesterday was going Snobby Shores. Hysteria loves to go Greasy. Nick Merckx loves to go Tilted. You can kind of see how the minds of these players are going to be running with, okay, we know, well, this guy's here, this guy's here. I've got to be a little bit careful on exactly where I drop.
As a competitive player, do you think that they're going to make choices and decide to go to those locations thinking, you know what, I think I can beat Chap or Nick Merckx or whoever trends, like you said, Hysteria goes to Greasy quite a bit. Do you think players are going to choose to go to those locations specifically to try and get an engagement against somebody that they may think they have an upper hand on?
Maybe early on. Maybe early on. We'll have to see. There's Saint, who had a pop-off celebration the other day. Everyone's in the lobby. They're getting ready. A look at the beautiful stations they have there. Folks, the battle bus is launching. It is time. In the next 6 games, we will find out, well, who is a hell of a lot richer. Let's get into it. Game number 1. Who will come out on top? Remember, Victory Royale. You win this game, you automatically win $25,000. But let's be honest, everyone here is already a winner this week.
And you see in the bottom right, we're going to rotate through a number of top performers from the previous qualifiers just to take a look at where everybody's dropping. The map already getting a pretty solid spread. You got a lot of players. I mean, this is a bus straight across the middle, basically, which means everywhere is eligible. Snobby Shores, you see players dropping outside over the coast again to try and get as low as possible.
Ooh, Tilted. Tilted's actually very light landing, only 4 players. 4.
One is rotating in from Shifty, actually completely unoccupied. I would almost, you see one is cutting back over the river, potentially seeing nobody else is going there, saying, okay, I'll gladly take all the loot. Let's go get as many as we can.
There's Tempo and Snobby. No surprise there. Morgoss had some crazy scenarios in his day of playing. If you remember, so low HP, was able to get some limbs when you thought it wasn't possible. 99 players in this lobby, and no surprise here, Aiden is in Tilted. The man who surprised so many people, said the other day was arguably the best day of his life. And look at Nick Merckx, already tagged up and weak and Tilted. We'll keep an eye on him later on, but this is in Viking Village. Saf going up against Cryo. Cryo, if you remember last night, won a coin flip to make it on in today.
We'll have to see here up against Ghost. Saf is an excellent player, very, very good at quick reactions and quick edits, and Cryo hopefully can take advantage of his coin flip. Does not make it out the first game here. Viking Village pretty ruthless when it comes to loot at times. The building's there's a lot of tight quarters. They're playing out in the open though, and the exposure costs Cryo.
Now, this is Jack from United going up against Bartonologist. You see using that ramp edit to get a clear view. Tries to farm some extra materials, doesn't quite get a chance yet.
See the feed Poach picking up an elimination.
It's on the Povsey. As Jack clears out that sight line. Still just watching his back for a second. I don't think, does he know Bartonologist is
might not
right on the other side of this wall? Yeah, Bartonologist is just looking for the drop here. He's just waiting. It looks like there's an engagement about to go down. Bartonologist peek in the corner. Hasn't jumped out yet.
Well, he's got it.
That blue submachine gun, though, can absolutely shred this early on. He does have a health disadvantage at the moment. Trying to break on in. Maybe get a sight line of his opponent down low. Is he hiding into the pyramid? He is. He uses that time to pop under the shield, it appears. As now you've got to think Jack has a ton of health advantage and gets the hip-fired spread. Beautifully done from him. Yeah, he popped a big shield to go to 200 HP. And that's when it's kind of out of reach for Bartonologist.
It looked like it took just a couple crits there with the AR midair on his opponent, Bartonologist. Now this is the fight. I saw the elimination of the feed, but here's Povsey going down to Liquid Poach up here. Ooh, a quick mid-air burst. The only weapon Poach was sitting on, a gray burst, and that was enough.
Now, just north of Flush Factory, you see Takada looking for where exactly Snood could be. Very low on materials. At least he's quite healthy at 175 HP. Snood at a major disadvantage there. Looks like he'll go ahead and just kind of leave this build for now. Maybe try to farm up some trees, get himself some wood here, Lupo, to build.
Didn't want to get caught in a 1v1 in a tight quarter situation against Snood. Not enough materials early game to engage inside a building. Players typically use like a wall or a ramp mid-fight to stop even just a single shotgun blast if the timing is perfect. You saw there quickly the circle, Courage almost perfectly centered, maybe a little south side, which means pretty much everybody, unless you're maybe in Junction or the very top right, the northeast corner is going to have to, they have plenty of time to farm up materials, which means I would expect late game fights to be very competitive. Typically if the circle is shifted hard the one side or the other, you know, top, bottom, east, west, wherever it is go. If it's very far away from players, those players are almost easy pickings just because they don't have the materials. And in competitive games, Courage materials you almost choose over anything else.
Turkey Lips, who led day one with eliminations of the qualifiers, looks like he hasn't skipped a beat.
Catches trouble was X is off guard there through the doorway. Looks like Jay Cuddy's trying to bait with the trap here. Somebody must be in the area. World's Best Gaming's Unicorn rotating around the outside. I think I saw him yesterday wearing actually like a rainbow sweatshirt. It's pretty cool.
Nobody with 2 elims yet. And again, to set the tone for just how crazy these games are, how different they are from what you're used to playing at home. There is still 78 players left in the lobby, and the first zone is about to begin to push. That was Punisher cutting down his opponent there. But yeah, look at that, Lupo. I mean, at home, right? You probably have, what, 35 players left at this point? Maybe 30? 78. I think players are taking the passive route for this start to today.
Now, there's a high number of players that have 1 elimination. Nobody right now has 2 currently. Horrify goes down to Mac from Soar. The accuracy on the shotgun shots from a lot of these players today looks fantastic, which means it's gonna come down to who makes a mistake first. Oh my goodness.
Crunch. Look at the ramp block from Aiden onto Crunch. He blocks the rocket, it damages Crunch, and then he follows up with the elim there. Aiden still in a good spot. Nick Merck still alive. These two, the 2 kings of Tilted that we've seen so far this week.
It does make me wonder. We've seen players analyze each other's gameplay. Aiden most likely very aware that Nick Merckx goes to, I'm going to be honest, the same building almost every single time. Do you think he's purposely avoiding an engagement if possible?
Listen, Aiden's gone basically everywhere around there, but in the engagement feed, Emad just took down Tempo from last night phase of the 4 games. Phase 1, 3 of them. This was actually Tyler's in an engagement with Painful PvP, and right now Painful looks like he had all the advantage, and yeah, he did. Tyler's down early. Our kind of outspoken player from yesterday unfortunately drops here early in game 1.
Now there's still 5 games left for these players, even after this one has been completed. So a bad game or 2, it doesn't spell the end.
Is this Nick versus Aiden? Is this Nick versus Aiden?
Shot to Nick Merckx goes down. Aiden says, "Welcome to Tilted."
And there, oh, Aiden letting him know.
I gotta say it, hi Twitter.
That honestly. Right there, folks, is what it's all about. Aiden knowing the reputation of Nick Merckx. Nick now seeing a new controller player trying to claim his Tilted area. And well, I feel like that's a battle we're gonna see a lot today, Lupo.
Psalm building up against, I believe it is it Levake here up in the sky. A lot of layers here, and there's a kind of a 3rd player potentially entering, maybe 3 or 4. They're very exposed right here. I'm surprised. I was gonna say, I'm surprised no one has begun shooting down the structure here. It looked like it was built extremely vertically. They're kind of exposed.
Yep.
Psalm's got to be very careful that it doesn't look like he has a bounce pad. I would expect him to kind of have it out. Aiden has just claimed Tilted Towers as his own. Takes out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ecstatic.
There are about 15 players at least who have 1 elim in this game. Aiden, the only one at 3, has earned our first point today. Aiden continues his tear as he has claimed Tilted Towers. We said 4 people landed there at the start of this game. Everyone was eliminated by Aiden as he's now at 3.
The zone is starting to, it's going to have to start pushing players in. You're going to see people that are, this is kind of the beginning of the mix-up. You know, chaos typically happens. The storm closing now. We're going to see where the next circle is. It's centered over Tilted Towers, which means Aiden doesn't even have to move.
He's big chilling right now. There's a drop coming on in as well. Aiden's thought process, it looked like he basically said, you know what? I know Nick Merckx is going to go Big Gray. I'm going to land at double L's, loot Big Red, loot the new building, and then once I have everything I could ever want, then I'll challenge Nick at Big Gray. And it worked out perfectly for him there. He's still maxed on HP. Here's Boyer, who we just saw pop a medkit to get to full health. Over to Marcides now on the edge of the football or soccer stadium. So he's trying to spot this player. You hear listening for those audio cues. It's actually WBG Punisher.
What the hell are you? We are Venom.
Who took down Tempo earlier on.
In the feed, TFUE takes an elimination there on Powder from Alliance. That is his first elim. Poach still has one. The list of players that are sitting on one elimination now is monstrous. Jay Cuddy actually has 2, but still Aiden, the only one, you see the board there, only one with 3. The only player with a single. Aiden actually just picked up his 4th elimination, which puts him 1 away from a 2nd point.
I mean, can this man be stopped?
Engagement down here, though. He's trying to drop the structure down. Looking, you see that you can even hear the fall damage right there. That should be a Q.
He caught on the 1 layer of a ramp, though, which kept the high ground for his opponent. And now Marcides knows just how tough of a situation he's in. Trying to get the quick edit to peek on out. Oh, can't get the structure shut down in time. He's wearing a great shirt, though, so I'll give him that either way. Punisher with the elim.
Style matters, but the points are everything, Courage. Unicorn, Sakairos, very small. They're 2 floors away from each other. This is Aiden's 4th elimination earlier. A rotation in and lasers. Absolutely lasers. That gold AR is incredibly powerful. A Chap building up here. It did look like Aiden picked up a Chug Jug right as he cut away, which means he's full health, full shield, ready for the next engagement. He's still safe inside the zone, but Chap here just on the west side of Dusty Divot, stuck in a 1v1, but we've seen Chap build. We've seen Chap take advantage of height and all of the structure here that he has ownership of, and we're going to watch players still continue to do that. They're going to break out anything they can. Take ownership of it. He puts the pyramid up to block any push. The player underneath, just trying to keep Chap away. And I'm going to be honest with you, Courage. A player like Chap, I don't think that's necessarily going to work. No. Chap is going to look for an angle, the weak spot in his players, the way that they're developing this strategy against him. He's going to take advantage of it. I almost expect at this point maybe a drop down, a knockout, and Chap to go just for a shotty shot in midair. He's got dualies as well.
Quickly to mention, E-United's Jack just knocked out Liquid Poach from this first game. So Poach eliminated with about 61 players left. This is by far the slowest game we've had to this point this week with how many people are still in play. Here goes the battle. Chap versus this enemy inside Dusty Divot. Both players getting hit heavy, and oh, Kayun. Well, Chap falls right on into the window, and well, Kayun's shotgun wins that engagement there.
Both players, it looked like we're going for the floor replacement. Kayun got it and dropped Chap in. Now the rift to go, typically not necessarily taken by your opponent, but Dremon says, you can't get away from me. He's going to drop down.
He also had the zone pushing.
Fly in. Yeah.
He had the zone there as well. Might as well just go ahead and skirt on out of there. Tilted Towers looks like it will soon be the only thing in play. And folks, Aiden has 10 minis and a Chug Jug. Could not ask for more shield healing. He's near maxed on each type of material. Gold heavy shotgun, gold legendary assault rifle, sorry. I mean, this man is set up for success here.
Lavic rotating around the outside, drops on the outside. Looks like Sakairos didn't see him drop on the outside, place the platform, and the shotgun shot there secures an elimination just outside the zone, too. Bill Chase taking shots, trying to drop the structure of his opponent before they rotate in. He's just hanging out outside the storm, but it's only ticket for 1, so it's not enough damage to worry about, but he has to build himself in. His opponent got a top down on him, got the height advantage, but he has the ability to edit out. Going to take ownership of that ramp in the middle, or at least just get it out of the way so his opponent doesn't have it. Building these little catacombs, trying to, it's a way to have your opponent lose track of your location. The replays from FaZe, he's still on top of him. Still watching, trying to grab. These players are fighting back and forth constantly for who owns what surface. The shots coming in through the angle to edit there, and Replays gets quite a bit of damage, maybe enough to push in, and he does. The shotgun and a fight inside the box and takes Chase out. 2 eliminations for Replays now.
Beautifully done by Replays. He'll be rewarded with a med kit to get the full HP. While this was going on, 0 players have yet to hit 3 elims outside of Aiden. And while that fight was going on, Aiden actually moved up to 5 eliminations now at 2 points earned this game. Jay Cuddy just earned his 3rd elim to put him at 1 point as well. Apparently Aiden's 5th elim was actually a trap that he left behind in a building in Tilted, and someone ran right through it.
That's not the first time he's done that either. During his qualifiers, that his 8th elimination in the 2nd game came from a trap as he was rotating to the west.
Remember, that is incredible.
I love those.
8 elimination 2nd game heading west.
I specifically
Eastern
remember where
building.
it happened too.
Okay, Looper, jeez. It's that dad brain right there. You're showing it off. I love it. As Aiden, he's got another player close. He's got a launch pad in his inventory as well. Tilted will be out of play soon. You see, as he enters each room, he checks the roof for any traps. Make sure he can't sprint on in.
In the feed down there, Replays from FaZe going down to Kayun, who just took out, I believe, Liquid Chat before that. That is a stack of eliminations to be proud of right there. Jack from EU with 3 elims, Jay Cuddy still 3 elims, and Aiden with 5. That's 3 players currently with points. Aiden having 2, the others 1 apiece. Looks like Aiden has a player on the inside in here trying to take ownership of the wall so he can get the edit off. They're just holding on tight. He's going to have to rotate around potentially on top or push up the stairs, change the angle of engagement. Pro players are typically very aware, these highly competitive players, very aware of appropriate times to disengage and get it up on another angle, but Aiden gets dropped out from underneath. His opponent just lasering down any structure he's got. The AR shots, it's not as fast as an SMG, but it's enough to take structure out. Aiden's only building 1 layer at a time. The third party from behind, it may be tunnel visioning on the opponent that was in front of him, just pushing, losing track of the fact that somebody else was watching. There are other players there. You got to start looking for those little towers.
He's playing for having as much health as possible for the next fight. Gonna chug jug here for the extra 50 shield, as there's a ton of fights going on around him. That was Boyer who just cut down Cease. You got Lanane from Envy down there in the river. Does Aiden continue this aggressive play? Looks like he will. He wants this right away, Lupo.
Tyler's even analyzed it earlier in the interview. This is Coyotes, we mentioned it earlier in the feed, eliminating Replays, and here's the actual engagement. Taking a top down here, he's going for ownership of these structures so he can get the edit. These are my walls, and he wants the shot whenever he wants the shot. And here it is, 153.
Can't ask for much more from your shotgun. Right there, as we head back to the action, you're Tilted. Looks like Aiden's trying to build on up and match his opponent. Boyer, I think, has slipped on out of that lower box. He will have to move quite far for this next zone. This end game really near 0 areas of interest. You see kind of in the river, and how awkward is this? It's 2 cliffs and a low valley.
Look at how dense this circle is. This rotation is going to cut a lot of players out.
There's 49 players left. 49.
This is the most we've seen, I guarantee you, at this circle. 53 seconds and people have to move, and this is potentially a time for Aiden to shine. He might be on the outside of the circle, Jack, but you have an option here to not worry about placement, go for 2 more eliminations and secure 3 points very early in this event. It could be big.
Here's Vape Jesus, one of our players on the verge of earning 3 elims. All these players stacked up in these builds. It's like Saps in a fight here, drops to just 50 HP, but he does have a slurp ticking.
Just so people are aware, looking at the map right now. Oh, the rocket from Saf down through the edited hole gets Vape Jesus underneath him. That's 2 eliminations. But on the map right now, there's 1 player on the far west side that is not moving. I would almost anticipate it's somebody that has a rift to go. Brandon from GS, who came in 2nd in an engagement against 72 Hours. We saw that outside of the zone rotation on Brandon, but he's saying this is my time to shine. He's trying to track Bizzle down and Fuzzy simultaneously. 3 players stuck in the structure, and he's going to tunnel his way out. The layers over the top to protect from any above shot. Waiting, the jump shot on Fuzzy gets his first element. Brandon's going to maybe look for a second. His shots come in. He's rotating inside the storm. It's such an important piece of this is to maintain forward movement. Ooh. You don't want to get caught outside. Players will take advantage of that.
Remember, that opponent now hears that audible shield tag, knowing his shields are gone. I'm down to just normal HP now. Going to go ahead and wait on out as he'll have to back up. I think the tree kind of blocked him on his rush on up there. Down to 42 players left in the lobby. This game is going to escalate very, very quickly. I can promise you that. Brandon just sitting inside this box. Used all his materials though, Lupo. Down to just 32. He's got no shields left. This is one of those awkward scenarios where he's just hoping people forget about him.
Jack, there's 42 players left in the circle, and it's time to move. North side is where everybody's got to go, which means if you're in the south, like Sinfully here, you're going to have to fight your way out and see what you can do. Rockets coming in. There's going to be a lot of this happening. People going for splash damage eliminations. They got any structure they can, and Hysteria trying to get an elimination at the zone there, but Saf secures it on Sinful. 0 elims thus far for Hysteria. And look at these players. They're all poised to strike on each other, waiting for literally anybody to move, anybody to make a mistake. And we've got 60 seconds left and 40 players still alive.
Hysteria played in each day of the qualifiers to get to this point. Wind up getting in.
What the hell are you? We
late last night and basically the final game. Here with a ton of materials left, he's just trying to peek on out and find this basically free elim as he's looking to maybe third party a fight. Does get heavily tagged twice. Not happy to be in this scenario now, I can promise you that.
He's got enough materials maybe to push against this here for a little while. 38 remaining, 30 seconds left until the zone moves, and then I'm telling you, when this thing starts, this is when chaos ensues. The zone move is one of the deadliest moments in games like this.
And it's down this mountain, too, for all these players up top.
Everybody's got to slide.
Yeah. Jumpman does have 2 launch pads, which I'm expecting him to use here. He's going to fly right on into the next zone. He's already got the natural height over it. You hear continuous tags. I think that is Hysteria being sprayed by like 3 or 4 people right now. United's Jack just got his 4th elim of the game as he's looking to catch up to Aiden. Aiden was eliminated earlier on. We've now got 5 players with a point on the board. Looks like these were 2 players fighting earlier on, Lupo and Shifty.
This kind of shows just how
they both fell.
Don't stick the landing on the way in. This kind of shows how players are.
Oh no! Oh no!
You see in the feed, Jumpman eliminating Aiden. We at least know
he hit his head
went down to
on a tree and was knocked down. Here's that move we mentioned, down into the river. What an ending to this first zone. Hysteria there. You see the shotgun elimination on the knees. 32 players still remaining. Typically at this point we're at like 13, 14 players, and we're at 31.
This is a good example of how high the nerves are here.
He just got a drop.
We have cheers from the crowd here for that one.
He's got remote explosives and a rocket.
That's huge. Against all the players that are playing incredibly slow, they're all built up in structures. Explosives are going to be, I mean, that could be game-changing. He could come away with a bunch of eliminations, even just to knocking structures down with that. And he's going to start pushing up. He's going to get up top of his zone. He owns all of this, too. You see he's making quick edits on pretty much every piece he's moving through. And this is Hysteria's first elimination thus far today in game 1. An opponent, surprise, falls inside and catches Nice off guard.
You know, that's when the double barrel is quite good, just as a pro tip, when they're inches in front of your face.
Literally right there.
Yes. Here we go, folks. Our move to our next zone about to begin.
27
TFUE
players.
has been inching across all of this build. I was wondering how he was going to do this with little materials. Somehow he's claimed this entire top area, it seems. Nate Hill still in it. J-Omoc still in it. Here we go. This game is about to escalate very quickly. The moves coming from everybody now. Chris, 2 elims. Can he earn his 3rd to put a point on the board? Gorilla just cut down J-Omoc. You see Nate Hill using the bounce pad. Everyone surging forward. The common enemy of everyone is this storm. And you can see they're all afraid with how much damage it does. Somehow TFUE not being shot. He's made it on in and secured a nice little structure to heal on up.
Literally no one wants to engage anybody else right there. You saw TFUE drop the C4. I think the idea is if somebody's pushing up underneath him, he can edit it out and drop the C4 down. Brandon gets caught off guard, and Jack secures his 6th elimination and
a med kit now. He's got to use this right away. The zone is 25 seconds. Pop that med kit, get above 6 HP. TFUE 1 elim away from earning himself a point. Remember, top 10 in the game earn themselves a point as well.
no fall damage. Honestly, kind of surprisingly, so many explosives.
He's out of materials. I think he's just got to kind of go for this. That's all of his mats left.
One more elim is a point for TFUE, and he's going to look for one. There's still 10 players that are that have to go down before rank matters for points, which means now's the time, and he gets it, catches Shrugs off guard through a little tiny window. That green drum gun coming in big, and another one. TFUE going for his 4th elimination.
He's got to move. The zone is there. He's got to move. He's trapped on in. TFUE choking on out. The storm ticking for so much, and there he goes. TFUE out from game 1 as the storm claims another victim.
You got Nate Hill basically sitting on nothing, no HP, no shield in the bottom, and he had some minis. He's going to patch himself up when Nane's stuck inside, basically in the middle of the, there's a player sandwich here. 11 left, one more goes down. Everybody that's left alive gets 1 point minimum.
Whoever is a limb next, heartbreaking stuff, as they will be just on the verge of a free point. I know one thing, Nate Hill has no plans of peeking on out with that little HP left. 3 medkits for Morgoth. You've got to think he's in a good spot if this goes to a heal-off. Uh-oh. Fight about to go down. Morgoth with a shot. There it is. We're now into our top 10. A quick trade.
Trades happening back and forth.
The hype there, that was 3 limbs, and he made it to the top 10. That's 2 points there. Landjock, we mentioned, you can have all sorts of play styles. This one, not go for any fights. He's in 6th place with 0 limbs, but he's out of mats. He's full of the bottom. It's time to rip back up.
He pulled 2 other players with him. 3 are on their way down from the top.
Pulling right away.
He's gonna. I think the goal is to try and land as fast as possible.
No, he's gonna rip again. Oh my God! No! Oh. That was almost 200 IQ. It could come back to bite him.
Gets the shot on Gorilla.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Trades going down. Nate Hill with an elim. Prodigy Aces. Looks like he's got the high ground right now. Only 1 elim to his name. And remember, top 3 earned 2 points. He's made it. 2 points now earned. So many medkits. The storm is pushing on in. This is it. I believe it's going to come down to a heal off right now. Player shooting from above. He doesn't have time to heal. It's Nate Hill, and I don't think Nate has any health left. He's got 1 HP. He's trying to break down. He doesn't have the time. This should be it. He's got 1 extra tick of HP. And there's the victory for Landjock. As he can't believe it, it was 18 health to 1 health. Literally 1 tick of the zone made the difference. And the sigh of relief there. Congratulations. That's a 3-point game.
Absolutely ridiculous. Nate, at this point, his only option was to try and shoot or pickaxe his way down, get a shot in the fall, and it didn't matter. Landjock had a layer ahead above him. There was no option there.
He was done for anyway. You saw trying to pickaxe down. He was getting that thing where it just wasn't letting him actually hit the structure, which made him have to panic shoot. He didn't have a shot there anyway. 1 HP. Didn't. If he gets that elim and drops those medkits down a little bit earlier on, as the zone's closing, he might have time to pop the full 10-second medkit, but there was only like 9 seconds left on the clock. So 1 tick would have dropped him, and he knew that. He had to go for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him there.
Jack, if the rest of the games today go like this, I don't know if I can handle it. This has been, we saw more players alive per circle than we've ever seen in any of the previous games, and players are trying to play so securely. They're holding hands during rotations. You saw TFUE got walled out from an opponent that he was chasing up because they were putting layers and layers down behind them just as an effort to stop anybody from getting in. It wasn't an aggressive engagement. It was defensive play to see if the Storm could take any more eliminations, with them closer to a top 10, even for just 1 point.
Well, back in game 1, it all began with Aiden raining terror on the tilted towers. We've got to look back at that to begin. Look at this ramp to block the rocket, the quick follow-up, and there it is. The player, I think, tried to porta-fort, but unfortunately landed above him. And then Aiden, once he got to full HP, said, you know what, I know exactly where Nick Merckx will be, and I'm going to go for it right off the bat. Nick only able to tag him for 7. The crowd definitely made some noise there, as he didn't stop at all. He continues to hold forward. He wants to bring the fights to his opponents and get right in their face.
That's multiple window peak engagements from Aiden, taking advantage of every little bit of cover he could. Catches another player off guard as they rotate in through a building. You saw they went for the defensive build too to block him out, but it wasn't enough. The 72 damage crit, it'll almost jar players. That amount of damage that fast, it's the same effect as maybe getting hit by a hunting rifle shot or a sniper during a rotation. You get frazzled very quickly, and you'll see players build defensively, and sometimes it's not enough, especially when you have accuracy like that.
Oh, for sure. And that's just the look at some of Aiden's plays. There's obviously so many other players out there. Kayun had, I believe, eliminated Chap, then went on to take down Replays as well. So 2 bigger names. This was the battle versus Chap that we followed for quite a little bit. It was the one window edit that drops Chap on in. Come on, my friend. And Chap was not ready for it at all.
You see versus Replays the box inside, and Kane's trying to take advantage. He'd take ownership of the structures above. He goes for it and forces kind of a rotation out. Players will see ownership change in the structures, and they'll make moves to get away to say, okay, you think I'm inside there and I'm not anymore. And Replays caught off guard. Almost Kane saw ahead. He predicting other players' movements is huge for these guys, and couldn't pull it off that time, but a valiant effort. He earned 3 eliminations. That's a single point, and he should feel fantastic about that. That's more than we've seen in the previous qualifiers, people that have advanced to today. So every point counts. Every point counts.
Yeah, well, we actually, at the end of the game, had a crazy, crazy little rift to go play. And remember, when you pop that rift, it's like a little verticality element to it. Well, pull people in with you. So he drops on down. Landjock uses it, sucks 2 people up with him. Then you see here, it was Nate, Landjock, and Prodigy Ace.
What the hell are you? We are Venom.
Landjock decides, I'm going to drop on down to try to take the rift again to resecure the high ground. And literally the second he goes to sprint into it, it goes away. Shortly after, he does get that elim, but then is traded fight, or sorry, it's what keeps him alive then to stay alive and then go on to win that game. That was the one elim he needed.
The awareness from Gorilla right there, even though he didn't get the elimination, just as the second he heard the mini get popped, the sound of the shield, he opted to edit the stairs, push in through, and try and go for the elimination, and Landjock, the accuracy in that double barrel, it just hits like a bus.
It most certainly does. I actually do believe we have Landjock, our Victory Royale winner from Game 1. We forgot to mention, he just won $25,000. I don't even know if he knows. We'll go ahead and throw it on over to Zeke in the players area.
What's up, guys? Awesome cast. I am here with Landjock, who just, I mean, as you witnessed, he riffed on the goat 3 players, and he gets the victory out. You just won $25,000. How are you feeling, man?
Man, yeah, that was amazing. I didn't think I was going to win, but the guy ended up dying to fall damage, and I got it, so. Oh, bro. I don't know.
I mean, are you ready? Are you ready for the next few games?
Yeah, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try to win another one, but I'm glad with what I already did today, so.
Now, did you know that you were going to rift those 3 players? Because everyone at PAX is watching this, right? And so the moment you jump down, you activate the rift on the go, literally PAX erupts because they're like, you just pulled 2 other people. You dive down and you take someone else out who's like, oh, there's a rift here. And then you just blast them. How did you know they were there?
No, I just knew I didn't want to die, so I did it. And I saw 2 people with me, so I'm like, well, I'm going to try to go down. And it worked, so.
That's awesome, dude. Any strategies you've got going into the next few games?
I'm just trying not to die. I'm playing for placement, so just gonna try to survive as long as I can.
Dude, best of luck. Congrats on the victory out for the first and the 25,000, dude. Good luck in the rest of the games. Courage.
Boys, brilliant, brilliant stuff. You mentioned $25,000 richer, but Landjock sticking to his kind of game plan. I want to survive. I'm playing my life, and it worked out perfectly there. Literally the only limb he had to get, he was forced. Like, he had no option but to fight him there.
Yeah, and it's funny, the playing to stay alive, it seems like he's not the only one. We've seen circles with 40, 50-plus players remaining, and the number of builds that happen during a storm rotation, when the circle starts to move, that's one of the deadliest moments in the game. You literally see the field get cut in half.
100%.
Because people we saw multiple players eliminated by fall damage at the same time, rotating over Shifty. We saw people landing inside boxes next to each other, not realizing that there's 1, 2, 3 players above them, and they're forced into engagements. And right now I feel like people don't want that. People are trying to avoid fights because there's a chance if they miss a shot, if they don't build at just the right time, any little mistake is gonna cost them.
So something tells me this isn't the last time we're going to see these last zones go down to the Storm claiming the final elim, right? I feel like this is going to be the theme of today.
Strap in. It's going to happen more than once. And honestly, it's so exciting and so hectic. There's so much happening. The top-down angles that we're getting on these it's incredible because you can really see it's a stampede of players pushing to try and get inside the next zone. And it's not always shots that are determining who stays alive, who makes it to the top 10 and gets a point. It's appropriate builds. It's intelligent positioning. It's foresight and reading your opponents, and it's happening every single time. These players are processing information so fast.
So much stuff going on. It's crazy. As we get the next lobby ready, we will be hopping into game number 2 very, very shortly. I can see it getting updated on my screen. But there's so much stuff going on. Families here attending this event. We actually caught up with a father and son Fortnite fans. Let's hear what they had to say.
My name's Sean Shevlin, and my gamer tag is YoungPrism98912. We're from the Portland, Oregon area, and this is my son, Rylan, and he plays under the same gamer tag, but he earns all the points. So you had heard about it at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he kept begging me and begging me and begging me to play. So finally I told him if he did his homework for 2 weeks straight and didn't whine about it, we would download it and he could play. And so we did that, and he started playing, and now I play a pretty good amount with him, and I teach high school math also, and so I brought it into my classroom actually a lot, and the kids love it. So like this week we did a lesson on graphing, and I took the Fortnite map and we did quadrants and we graphed on there. So that was another reason I came up, was I was like, I'm going to tell all my students that I competed in Summer Skirmish. My go-to strategy is camping. Where do you like to land?
Tilted Towers.
Oh, my favorite gun, the one bolt action sniper, because I am a terrible shooter. So if I can't get you in one shot, I'm probably dead.
I like the clingers because you can just like throw it at someone and it just like sticks them, and then they just blow up.
Really want to win $5,000. I feel like I might have a chance of making it through some qualifiers, and maybe I can get there. So
you're gonna get wrecked.
Absolutely awesome stuff to see there. I wish I was able to use Fortnite in my high school math, but instead it didn't go well.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's why you're casting.
No shame in hiding behind the desk curves. That's fine.
There we go. Awesome father-son duo there. Hope to be able to meet him here as PAX West continues. As we get ready for game number 2, I see everyone in the lobby. We have to update you guys on the standings. Remember, $1.5 million on the line today. And here's where we stack up after game 1. Landjock won a limb, but the Victory Royale gives him the advantage over Nate Hill. United's Jack, 6 limbs that first game, leading the lobby just above Aiden. 2 members from Envy in the top 8 as well, and TFUE in that 10th spot.
Already a plethora of players with even just 1 point, all the way up to 17th place. And then after that, eliminations decide, as well as their placement. The tiebreakers came in pretty big previously. It was running around in the player area. You have to remember, too, if you're watching, the player area is completely separate from where we are, so they can't hear us at all. But what they do know is shortly the bus is launching. Game 2 beginning. Courage.
This is absolutely crazy here. I'm looking around. People are enjoying the Der Burger free food. There is a line down the block in hopes to get in here. It's gone from standing room only. I'm pretty sure people are just laying on top of each other at this point in hopes of being able to watch. It is a blast here right now. The energy in this crowd is insane. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 2 starts right now.
East to southwest trajectory. Wailing Woods pretty close to the beginning of the bus, which means a handful of those liquid players, they do tend to the northeast corner of the map. They're going to get down pretty quick, which means I expect to see them in the feed earlier than other players if they do land in a kind of a hotter drop. Retail, and you have people floating down to Paradise already. Fatal is going to get occupied. I'm curious if the Cube is going to come into play again at some point over the course of the day. We're just getting started.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. As you see a beautiful look at that free camera, just watching around where people are going. Landjuck says, I just want to stay alive. And apparently staying alive means landing near Tomato Temple.
Flower, I think, picking up potentially the first elimination of the game gets Prodigy Aces. Topway and Fade both picking up an early elim as well. In landing zones.
And right there, instantly picking up the ammo box. That's something that's actually so key in these games because we reference ammo so often. And what, already a 3-person rift use? In a panic situation, it looks like, if I had to guess, Cryo started engaging people with this TAC shotgun. And then they popped a rift to try to get out. One of the enemies popped a rift to get out, and it looks like it was a good way to disengage the fight. They'll live to see another day.
Cryo, you have to remember, was the player that won the coin toss from day 3 qualifiers. Hoping to put on a good show. That coin flip determined whether or not he was making it in here. Gave a coin flip for $5,000 as well, no matter what place he lands. GS Brandon here, a number of players landing here at retail, and they kind of all chose their own home and said, okay, I'm going to loot everything here before I push out. Everybody else, please stay inside your homes as well. It's like a gentleman's agreement almost sometimes. You very rarely see someone drop in at a house in retail and competitive games, get even just a single chest, and then immediately push to engage, because you might be missing out on other loot in the house. They're going to take their time, you know, smack all the furniture inside the house. Hysteria here. We talked about Hysteria lanes greasy very consistently.
It's our spot. We're the greasy boys.
Northwest corner, and actually the first circle, kind of a northwest focus.
I'd probably fire. But no, either way, over towards the racetrack. Multiple clingers coming on out. Remember, clingers recently updated. Now act a little bit differently when you stick 2 on a wall. As instead of them both instantly exploding, once the first explodes and destroys the structure, the second will fall down from there and then cling onto the next thing that's there. So instant explodes are a little bit tougher to have happen now. That's Tyler's from yesterday, just backing on up. Didn't have the best game 1, looking to rebound here.
Punisher in Pleasant Park. We had a look earlier. It looked like roughly 4 players were out here. You see there, wow, what a quick swap from the player inside the box. Punisher takes control of the wall, but his opponent re-angles the ramp inside to act as like a second layer to protect him just from that window peek that Punisher was going for. An excellent play there from Rio, but he's going to rotate around underneath, and Punisher is tracking him, following, trying to get another wall replacement. Rio staying on top of ownership of those surfaces, and Punisher's going to have to find a second angle, and he almost does the window there, but Rio's edit there. He swaps and changes the angle of the ramp to act as protection from Punisher's push.
Yep.
Punisher's going to have to find a good angle here. Rio's clearly on top
right here.
of his edits. The top down.
They actually bounce off each other. Punisher swapping back to the shotgun. Another tag. They're both so low.
How many HP?
38. Rio with the elim. He'll go ahead and bandage on up. This is Wheats. Wait, what?
The Kobe nade kill.
No way.
Shuts it down. A single one gets
the
Chris.
Grenade kill from 81 meters.
Goes for a second. If he gets this, are you kidding me?
No, there's no way.
Close,
okay,
close. Aiden, tilted towers. Not surprising, which means Nick Merckx.
Oh my goodness.
1v1 round
again.
2.
This is going to happen all day. Aiden, each time he's fought Nick so far, has been at max HP. He continues to put himself in great positions to have the advantage. Nick now waiting, listening, knowing it's got to be Aiden nearby. These guys know what skins they wear. They know the routes they like to take. You'd think whoever wins this fight will claim Tilted Towers for this game. When Nick hears that chest open, he knows exactly where Aiden is. Here comes the engagement again. So far, Aiden eliminated Nick back in game 1, and Nick looking for vengeance right now. Trying to spray on down with the LMG. Aiden building walls. Nick in the engagement. The tag. The shield's now gone for Aiden. Nick with the advantage up to this point. He's got to push the agenda here. The crowd getting behind Nick Merckx. You hear the chant going out of the background. Nick has matched the build. Aiden with the high ground. Nick 132 HP. I believe Aiden has just a little bit less. But as I say that, you see Nick with a little bit of a grimace there as he gets tagged for 60. The 1v1, the quick block there. The battle of the century. 2 of the best controller players in the world going at it. Aiden down to 2 health. He's going to have to big shield here. Nick wants this fight. I can tell you, he wants to tie this 1v1 battle up at 1-1. Aiden now on the high ground of the building. Nick, I believe, is disengaging for the moment. I'm sure he heard that big shield, Lupo, and that might have been enough to scare him off. What comes to the chest to slurp, as the crowd knows just how good that'll be. That'll put him up to 77 HP, as they've just disengaged. They'll both live to see another day. Oh my.
7 HP total
I feel like this crowd is fine with just a $1.5 million Nick Mercs and Aiden only in Tilted tournament.
1v1 in Tilted
I'm all for
day.
it. As their cold's going to go ahead, reset. They're the only two here, I think.
You have a couple
There's a couple people now
on the outside.
But that's why they're just like, there's so much loot still on the map that they know, oh, this hasn't been touched, this hasn't been touched. Will they come across each other again soon? Last we saw, Nick still didn't have shields. Here's 72 hours. Let's see how this went for him. He's got the Chug Jug ready to go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, that is...